Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 50 of the Intermission Podcast, the show where two film graduates discuss classic, iconic, and obscure films from times gone by. We're your hosts, Oscar W. Fitchett.
I am Robbie Tweedale, and I am so tired.
And I'm getting quite warm, so let me open my window.
I said I looked fit today, man. What can I do? I don't think.
Yeah, apparently you did.
Oh no, you did.
No, I did. Okay. I've got the earphones in. I did.
I was gonna say, I thought you'd taken them out. Shit. I've ousted myself.
Like, oh, no. I think I'm fit, me.
I think I'm so unbelievably gorgeous.
I feel like I need to preface for everyone before we keep going, and this is something that I did say to you just before we properly went going. I've had like internet issues today, so we're just gonna like have to see how this goes.
We'll see what happens.
How the big 50 goes for the intermission.
Big 50. Congratulations, everybody. We made it. By we, I mean me and Oscar.
We got the 50 episodes.
You guys did fuck up.
Occasionally, hey, Lewis hasn't had too much contribution this season, actually.
No, he hasn't actually. Lewis.
No. Yeah.
Can I get my?
We had Reese.
Can I get a bit of crushing disappointment out of the way for everybody?
No Tattletale this week.
There's no Tattletale this week.
Aww.
I'm sorry, everyone. I'm so sorry. I've been in one of those headspaces where I don't want to do anything. You know, sometimes, you know, we talk about mental health on this podcast a lot. Sometimes you have a week where you just don't want to do shit, and that's all right.
Mm-hmm.
Take that time, guys. And so I didn't want to write a stupid fucking goofy story about a red card boy. You know, maybe I want a week off. All right, what do you want from me? Fuck it out.
Makes it sound like he zips around in a tiny red car.
Yeah, a little red car boy. He is strikingly similar to Noddy. I can't remember if I now can't remember if Noddy had a red car or a yellow car. So who knows?
I think he had a red car. Hang on, let me.
Yeah, give it a Google. Yeah, go on.
Let me. Noddy.
Yeah.
Do you know? I when I was like a child, I really wanted to like boiled eggs because Noddy did, but I just didn't. But I kept saying to my mum, I want boiled eggs. And my mum was like, you don't like them. But I'm like, yeah, but Noddy does. So
And of course, that was the only food available to you in post-war Britain, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's all we could have.
He's so old, listeners. This man is so old.
I'm older now than the last time we were on the podcast.
That's true.
Because obviously we took last week off.
And I shoved him into a time machine.
Yeah. We took last week off. Well, I think we discussed it at the end of like the apartment. I'm like, oh well, we'll see if we can maybe fit it in. But then, one, logistically we couldn't. Like scheduling wise, no, we couldn't. And also, two, I also use that excuse. Like, well, it is my birthday week, so I rather not like. I rather take that week to like, you know, can I have like a week to somewhat relax?
Yeah, chill out, enjoy your birthday.
It wasn't even a full week. It was like it just, you know, it was the day on my birthday. That I actually chilled. To confirm, Noddy, he wears a red shirt, but he drives a yellow car.
Motherfucker.
It's got like red, but it's got like red like bits over the way. You know what I mean? Like
a yellow car with red accents.
Yeah, but he's got, I think that's what it is. He's got like Chitty Ching Bang Bang for a car, hasn't he? And you know, like those like old cars where it's like got like a thing over the wheel.
Yeah, hang on.
Yeah, they're red.
Let me have a look at this guy. Ah, yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah. Do you know what we maybe think of Person Pat?
Yeah, that might be it.
Because you know, well, he's got a post fan, so you know it's.
Yeah, of course. Might be thinking of Fireman Sam.
Fireman Sam as well. Yeah, him.
Let's get some really obscure ones in here. I might be thinking of Okie Doke. Do you remember Okie
Doke? I think I do.
Little green man lived in a tree. Good on him.
What about the Tweenies? Is that mainstream?
The Tweenies is good. That's a good one.
Yeah.
I was watching a thing the other day. Sorry, it come up on my TikTok because I'm a fucking Ute. It was. I saw the intro for an old kid show called Little Robots, which I'd completely forgotten existed, and then was like, "Holy shit, it's Little Robots!" Oh my god, it was so good. Yeah, and this is the last one, and we can move on. Big Cook, Little Cook. So
Cook.
good.
I thought, right, yeah, no, yeah.
What did you think I'd said?
Your accent makes it sound more than So
okay.
it sounded like you went big. It sounded like you went Big Cook, Little Cook. I was like, what the fuck were you watching?
Yeah, well, the way you went and then sound like a fucking orangutan. So joke's on you. you sound the fool. There's a clip from Big Cook, Little Cook where the little cook gets cream all over his face, but it comes from off screen. So if we can cut that in now.
I'm not looking that up to put it in the edit.
It's funny because it looks like he's been spunked on Oscar. That's the joke.
The little cook looks like he got spunked on. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll send you it.
Oh, thank you. Have you got your favourites? What do you mean?
No, don't worry about it.
We'll see how quickly you send it to me. Oh God, there it is.
Boom, found it. Sharing it with you now. I'm gonna send you on Facebook. You continue to introduce the listeners to the episode.
I was gonna simply say about no, you know what? Because I think the intermission might not be quite slim because we've got there's a few there's at least 2 films I can talk about within the intermission section, so it might not be too slim over time.
There's a movie to talk about.
Well, I've got 2, but yeah, well, we can only probably discuss one because I don't think you've seen the other one.
Okay.
But in terms of we wrapped the Muse. Yesterday, recording wise. Yeah, it was in the art gallery, wrapped it. The point wasn't going to be talking about Muse stuff because it was, relatively smooth. We finished 2 hours ahead of schedule.
Wowzers.
So that's like, yeah. Yeah, exactly. But within the art gallery, they have like a little side section. And one of the exhibits are actual models from Pirates, the Yardman.
In an adventure
film
with scientists.
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. What a good movie.
Yeah, so they're just in Hartlepool Art Gallery right now as well.
That's really cool. I was literally watching that like last week. It's really great.
All right.
Yeah, it's good. I like it. It's a good time.
I remember thinking it was fun enough.
I went to see it in the cinema for my birthday one year. Whichever year it came out.
I want to say, you must have been like 12. Hang on, let me look that up.
Let me get Pirates in an Adventure with Scientists. 2012. It was my 11th birthday.
Oh, I wasn't too far off then.
No, and you will have been.
God, let's see what funny joke he has for this one.
43 at the time.
17, but
Yeah, take you out the home for the day, and there you go. Watch Pirates.
When I'm 43, take me out of the home at 43.
I don't fucking know, man. You
don't know people above the age of 23. What are you?
It's difficult trying to come up with an original, interesting version of that joke at least 15 times a day, every day, for the last 4 years.
And I don't see him every day, so I don't know what the fuck he's doing.
Sometimes I come up dry, What do you want from me? Fucking hell. Oh, God.
But it talks of my actual day of birth, what I did.
Oh yeah.
I woke up, got a Switch, so now I've got that.
Sweet.
I got the 2 Zelda games, but then I also got the Mario Party games, so I've been more so playing Mario Party because that's a bit more leisurely.
Nice.
And a big
I want to play the Zelda games so much.
I'm enjoying it. There's a few little things I'm going through. I'm doing Breath of the Wild, then I'm going to do Tears of the Kingdom. It's I'm enjoying it, but then there's little things where I'm like, I would have known this unless if I Googled it. There's things like that where it's like you go into a certain cold area and you can die. unless you keep warm, and the only way you get the armor to keep warm, you need to climb a mountain in the cold. So you need to be able to keep warm until that point. And I didn't know how you did that until I Googled it. And you need to like make a dish with certain ingredients that would keep you warm for like 10 and a half minutes.
Okay.
Which is cool and all that, but there was nothing telling me that until I Googled it. So there's things like that where I'm like, okay.
Yeah. One of my friends at work has been playing the new one, and he was saying that he found a thing that he picked up and was like, I don't know what to do with this. And so he started taking it with him. And then he was like, I don't need this anymore. So he dropped it and then he kept walking. It wouldn't let him leave without it. And then he Googled what it was and nobody's figured out what it is yet. so he was like, I literally don't know what to do with this. No, he just has this thing that he has to carry around. So yeah. But I am interested in playing it. I might get a Switch at some point. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, it's the one thing I've enjoyed about it at the minute, because obviously first thing I did, plugged it in my telly, playing on my telly. Oh, that's class. But then just one evening, I wanted to just like have a bit of a chilled time with the Switch, but I didn't want to like, I don't know, it's one of these things where I didn't want to just fully boot up my telly, so I just picked it up and I just was just like reclined, sat on me recliner, just with the handheld bit. I don't know, it just felt a bit more cozier doing that. It felt like there was less. It felt like it was less intense of a commitment, just playing the handheldy bits as opposed to booting on my telly, because then I'm like, holy shit, I have to like be invested in the story and I'm booting everything. Whereas like I could just pick it up. It's like the old school days when I had my DS. You know what I mean? Where it's just like just chill with DS on the couch. No, but But then went to breakfast, went to Jojo Gelato's, because I thought, I fancy pancakes. They didn't have pancakes on the menu, so instead I just had waffles. But this is like, so this is like 11 a.m. And waffles are fine, but pancakes are superior. They just are.
Yeah, they're just better.
But yeah, I had an eat and mess waffle. But then what it was, it's like it came out. There's like 2 waffles, a mound of ice cream, and then like the mess thing. And I'm like, well, this is a very indulgent breakfast.
Yeah, holy
like, that's
shit.
how I started the day. Just like waffles and ice cream, and just like, it's like, God. It's fine. Yeah. So, that was my 28th, really. Then I went out to the wharf and like had chilled and that as well. But,
And then, which day was your birthday? Like, day of the week?
It was Wednesday.
Wednesday, was it? Yeah. And then I saw you on the Saturday. Friday?
The Saturday before.
Oh, yes. Yeah. And we went out for breakfast.
That was a good time.
On a Sunday. It was a lovely time. Very much.
Yeah, no, I enjoyed that day. It was because it's like partially like I was like, it wasn't in my head I was like, okay, well, it's not going to be a big night out, but also like it was just nice enough just to be sat in a beer garden with people that I like to talk to,
chatting to everyone.
And then the most we just went to Idols afterwards, chilled, like was there for as long as we wanted to be, then left, and then it's
had a bit of a boogie, and then we went for breakfast next morning. Or lunch?
It was more lunch, yeah, it was lunch. There was... I can't really talk about that. Maybe I might save a bit. I might save it for the intermission bit, so there you go. There might be... There's... All of set... Right, well, No, I'll leave the to be continued for... Because there is a bit of that night that I can talk about. There's a bit that I'm not sure if I can. Probably can do, but I'll make my mind up if I can do by that point. There you go. So, yeah, but, we may as well get on to talk about the film. And all that.
Yeah, that old fucking chestnut.
This fucking... Yeah. But before we do, as always, just want to say, there's in the description, there's social media links for Instagram and Letterboxd. On the Instagrams is where you can see what films we're going to be talking about and keep up to date in all sorts of intermission news and that. And there's also chapter mark, like time codes in there to see what we're actually talking about within these podcasts. And when both for the YouTube video and the podcast, I will say I still haven't uploaded the last 3 episodes on podcast platform.
What the hell?
Hey, I'll do a big bulk of it because it just didn't work for a little while. So I'll just do like one day after another at one point. I don't know. It'll get up there at some point. You know what? It at least gets uploaded on YouTube, and maybe I just don't want to do it all the time.
Yeah.
quite frankly.
Be grateful.
You get an episode anyway. You might not if you really want the podcast version, just close your eyes when you're watching the YouTube video. just do that. But also in the description, as always, there are mental health links in the description below. Again, heavily promoters of that. We like to be some form of escapism, just two fellas talking about a film and all that. But we also don't want to. Make it a distraction from things in terms of awareness. There you go. Distraction from your demons, but not taking it fully away in terms of the acknowledgement of it. So there you go. Links in the description for if you or a loved one is in maybe a dark place. And there's stuff in there. First step towards the solution. Not the solution, first steps towards it. So,
yeah, man.
There we go. And with that being said, Robbie, let's shuffle in to talking about this week's film, episode 50. You would think we've got something big planned, but we really don't. This is going to be a really chilled 50, actually.
Yeah.
So here we go. And the film we are talking about this week is the 1957 Shakespearean samurai drama, Throne of Blood. The film is directed by Akira Kurosawa, written by Akira Kurosawa, Shinobu Hashimoto, Ryuzo Kikushima, and Hideo Oguni. And it is based on the play Macbeth by William Shakespeare. The film stars Toshiro Mifune, Izuzu Yamada, Takahashi Shimura, Akira Kubo, Hiroshi Tachikawa, and Minoru Chiaki. And the plot synopsis of the film, according to IMDb, is a war-hardened general, egged on by his ambitious wife, works to fulfill a prophecy that he would become lord of Spider's Web Castle. Accolades the film holds has a 96% on the tomato meter and an audience score of 94%. It has an 8.1 out of 10 on IMDb. And it holds 4.2 out of 5 stars on Letterboxd, placed at number 169 on their top 250 films of all time. And other accolades the film holds, it was nominated for one award at the Venice Film Festival for the Golden Lion, their most prestigious prize at that festival. So, my relationship with this film, Robbie, is this is only my second time watching this film. First time I watched it was, I think, like winter 2020, I want to say. About that, I think. I bought like a box set, a BFI Blu-ray box set of like the samurai, Kurosawa's samurai collection. So I had like a collection of his like old school 50s, early 60s samurai films, and this is one of them. So there was just one point where I was just watching them all just because I hadn't before. So this was just one of the films I watched in that, and I liked it. I will say I don't. It's one of these ones where I think there is, like the strengths in this film are very strong. The weaknesses in the film are apparent, and I do think there's enough weakness is in this film for me to not be fully adoring. In comparison with Kurosawa's other films that we've talked about, especially, I think, quite frankly, from my memory, because we always make an intention to talk about a Kurosawa film every season, Seven Samurai being my favorite of his. And then other films we've talked about The Hidden Fortress, and we've talked about Ran. There must have been another one.
There was one last season.
Yeah, surely. It was Ran. It was that big. It was the colored film. I think. I think
is Harakiri one of his?
No, Harakiri's not Kurosawa. I think that might have been. No, I feel like that might have been it. But out of all the ones that we've talked about, this is my lesser favorite of Kurosawa's films. Not saying that I think it's a bad film, but I just think his other films don't quite. His other films are just quite a bit better for me. I think, and I think, and in terms of like its source material, like when I was like English in year 9, or like year 8. No, it was year 8. It was year 8. I don't want to say I got into Shakespeare, but I enjoyed learning about Shakespeare and his stories within English and that. So and Macbeth was always my favorite of Shakespeare's stories. I feel like it's a simple enough story, but when done right, it could be a really harrowing, powerful piece, and it gives a good opportunity for actors to do damn good work. I think it's that type of story. I think so, and I think it's a good enough adaptation of it. But I feel like I've seen stronger versions of it in terms of the story itself. But we can get more into that in terms of it. Like the film, I think it has its strengths and also its weaknesses. Robbie, your thing with this one.
So, the Kurosawa films that we've talked about, I need you to cast your mind back, Mr. Fitchett.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, first things out of the way first. I've never seen this. I've never seen any of them.
Yes.
I've never seen anything we ever talk about. So, Seven Samurai. I liked it a lot, didn't I?
Yeah, I remember love was a word used to describe.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
What a banger. Now this is when I need you to cast your head back.
Right. We have talked about 3 previous ones before this.
Okay.
So this is the 4th Kurosawa film we've talked about.
The Hidden Fortress.
Yes.
Did I like that?
You liked it fine. You weren't too fussed in it, but once we discussed about what I think you kind of like felt like, oh, okay, yeah, I can see like maybe it's better because that one's more just like, oh, it's just a bit of fun in it.
Yeah,
like, that's just. But yeah,
I remember it having like a C3PO R2D2 vibe with 2 really annoying people. I remember that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Toshiro Mifune being a fucking badass with it. But
yeah. So Ran, did I like that one?
Not really.
Okay. Well, it's 2 for 4 for Kurosawa. Because boy howdy. Is this the shortest one
that we've talked about? I think it is. I believe it is. Like, yeah, this is the shortest Kurosawa film we've talked about. Yeah.
Yowzers. Well, there's sometimes right in this where I agree with you. It has its highs and its lows. I would say the highs are bits where it does like supernatural stuff are usually pretty cool.
Yeah, like the old like Japanese folklore, evil spirits.
Yeah, that's pretty good. And then some. I'll get onto this more in detail later, but some shots are really nice.
Yeah, no, I also agree with that as well. No, yeah.
Emphasis on some.
Yeah.
But the rest of it, it's a very overacted, boring version of a play that I already find boring.
Okay.
And again, I think I've seen it done, like you said, I think I've seen it done better.
Mm-hmm.
The one that we watched at school was the Patty Stew version.
Okay.
That's Patrick Stewart, for those that don't know him personally.
Yeah, no, I know, yeah.
And I've seen the Fassbender one. But
I like that one a lot.
I don't remember it all that well, but I definitely saw it.
Yeah, I like that one a lot.
And I've seen this live.
Yeah, no, I've seen Macbeth live as well. Yeah,
I went to see it. I can't remember why or in what context, but I've definitely seen it, and it was like a war thing. World War II version, I think.
Oh, interesting. I saw a version that was like a post-apocalyptic type of thing.
Oh, maybe it was that.
Yeah, like a National Theatre Live type of thing. It's like like the aesthetic was more similar like The Road. You know what I mean? Or like Children like that. Yeah. That's
when did you go see that?
Right, I was with my girlfriend at the time, so it must have been like 2018 or 2017, like that roughly then.
I saw the same one because I also was with another girl at that point. so, which is why I saw it, because she liked that. Right. But not for me.
Yeah,
no. But Shakespeare's never been a big thing for me.
Which is also funny because the other Kurosawa film you didn't really fuck with, Ran, was also based on King Lear, another Shakespeare.
Yes.
So maybe Kurosawa and Shakespeare just not your cup of tea.
Maybe I just don't like the Shakespeare that much. Yeah, I don't know, because there was a. Again, I know I'm not supposed to be mentioning it, but there's a Doctor Who episode with Shakespearean that I've always thought was shit.
Yeah,
but I know that anyone who likes Shakespeare is like, oh, but it's so good. There's just so many little literary references to his previous works. I'm like, fuck, I don't fucking care.
You also didn't really like West Side Story, which is also based off Romeo and Juliet.
I like The Lion King. But, you know, that's
Hamlet.
like,
That's Hamlet.
But that's got, like, you know, fun songs and colours and stuff.
Hakuna Matata.
Hakuna Matata, and, you know, I just can't wait to be king, you know?
Yeah.
If he'd have fucking broken out into song...
If Toshiro Mifune just started singing.
Yeah, if he's, you know, if he was doing something... If there was any moment in this that was on a par with, like, Circle of Life. Boom. I'm there. But this one, yeah, not for me.
Okay. We'll highlight the more positive side of things first, and then move into like the things that we weren't as hot on. I think I think if we're talking positive outright, again, this is always the thing that I always say when we talk about a samurai film. Even though this is the fourth Kurosawa film we've talked about a few other samurai films as well. Right. We've talked, you know, Harakiri, Sword of Doom. Man, I need to rewatch Sword of Doom. Just remember that. I was like, that was a fucking good one, that one. But what always impresses me is just like, is the practical nature of these films and how it is so seamlessly, like it's so seamless how much they like, how they do well with like building the world, like production design or anything like that. I think it is, they are quite, it's always impressive to me, and there's always something about old samurai era Japan that always just gives a warm fuzziness to me anyway. And again, it's something that I'm always apparent with, and I always say it each time I see it. But to me, it like even like the little things about like when we first see Toshiro Mifune. And I forgot the character's name, but it's the Banquo.
Miki?
Miki. Yeah. His
fuck
fellow.
Yeah, come on.
his fellow warrior. Like when they lost in the beginning, lost in the woods, and they first see the evil spirit. I'm like, oh, there's just something really cool about this. Yeah, there's just it's like with the bamboo trees and the little like hut type of thing, and then I'm actually looking at like, and then I was like, oh, this is like really cool, like atmospherically, like just like the setting, like even taking away the fact that it's all like cool like folk horror-y, even taking that away from it, it's like even just looking at it, goes, oh, this is cool. Then I'm looking at like the costume design, like holy shit, that actually looks really cool armor wise. And then you cut to them like going back into like the castle or whatever, and there's just like all the people with the flags and the actual set of the castle. Like, oh, holy shit, this is really good. Yeah, the scale on the imagery is always impressive to me with these, and I don't. And obviously, it's fucking Kurosawa, the master of these films. You know, he's not gonna go limp with this.
Yeah, exactly.
And this isn't, and he doesn't with this either. You know what I mean? It's like I think the scale of Hidden Fortress is better, but the Hidden Fortress had a bit of a bigger scale. Yeah, and I wouldn't even say Seven Samurai. No, maybe Seven Samurai is on par with this. Like again, in terms of scale wise, because Throne of Blood, I think you have all like the nice little like the rooms, and stuff where it's like the production design's great. Yeah, it's stuff that I can't fault with this. Again, it always feels it's nothing new as well with these Kurosawa films either. This is the third one we've talked about that. Obviously, we've talked about this is the third one that took place within the 50s. That was made within the 50s. Imagine that.
Oh my god, what was it actually like though? Fuck yeah.
Was made in the 50s, and I spilled a bit of my tea. I thought I was finished there. It's fine. Guy. It's only a little bit, but Ran was 80s, and that that had a lot more. Well, it was 30 years later than this film, and it had a lot more technical stuff to it. But I think like all three of his films from the 50s that we've talked about. It's a thing that I'm going to always repeatedly say in terms of a 50s Kurosawa samurai films. Like the scale is good. The set design is great. They do great with the costumes. It feels like old feudal Japan.
Yeah, every time it does, there's never one that's like, that's a set. It's always like you're never gonna go, yeah, it kind of looked a bit cheap and tacky or whatever. It's never like that. It's pretty bang on every time.
Yeah. It gets to the point now where I just can't. It always freaks me out every time. Not necessarily freak me out. It weirds me out every time I see just like a picture of Toshiro Mifune just in a suit.
Yeah.
Because it's like just him in a suit with his slicked hair and a cigarette. It's like,
what's wrong?
Fuck. I'm like, oh yeah, well that is from the 50s. So
yeah,
of course
he wasn't actually a samurai in feudal Japan. He was a dude that like went home afterwards and
and then just took the armor off. Like, fuck man, this...
yeah.
Jesus.
What a weird image. What a horrible image.
What, just someone being like, okay.
Well, it's like going to Disney World and Woody takes his head off. Do you know what I mean? That was horrible.
I had it in my head. I'm just like, the other bit Far From Home was like, somebody get this stupid costume off of me. Oh
my god! Wow, look at you making a Spider-Man reference.
Yeah, before
on the podcast. Oh my god, what the fuck? What day is this?
Well, my mind more so went to a Jake Gyllenhaal reference.
That's fair.
Yeah, but it is a Spider-Man. It is within Spider-Man. But yeah. Wow. Scale-wise, still impressive. Get nothing new with that in terms of Kurosawa film, but I also feel like it should be mentioned because that is one of the things I do like in this film. Yeah. And some of that will probably keep me going back to it's not necessarily the word I'll use because that makes it sound more like I'll be watching it and going like, I think about Throne of Blood. I'm like, oh, now I want to watch Throne of Blood. It'll be more like if I'm in a samurai mood and I've already watched some others, and I was like, I'll stick on Throne of Blood. That'll feed the craving enough.
Yeah.
Because again, we'll discuss the pace in a bit. We'll get to that. But I feel like it's not a long enough film to where it's too much of a commitment, and there's enough of like an aesthetic to it to where it can please you if you just want to I just want to watch an old school samurai film. That will give me imagery that even if it's like maybe a film that you don't necessarily want to fully like if you are having a samurai binge in a day or whatever, and it's like, I need to do a thing, but I also want a film going on in the background while I'm doing that thing. Throne of Blood's alright because you can be doing a thing, then turn around and go, that scene. Cool, and then and that's not. It makes it sound like it's an insult to the film. It isn't. Yeah, it's praise in that way. But I think what the film also does really well that Kurosawa films haven't done yet, in terms of ones that we've discussed, is the exploration of bending of reality in a way of again of the spiritual there's the moments of I think the shot wise of when the forest is moving forward and you see the mist and the use of the mist in this film. There's just always there's a bit of an eerie, otherworldly thing to it, and Kurosawa he didn't do that in Seven Samurai. He didn't really do that in Hidden Fortress. He did that in here, so it's a bit. This has a bit of a cold intrigue to it that other Kurosawa films don't have. I think.
Yeah, and I love that. There's an effect pretty early doors. Which is it's not one of them oh my god, how the fuck did they do that, man? It's very obvious how they did it as a jump cut, but when the spirit disappears at the beginning, is it that I'm trying to remember it now? The mist comes in, doesn't it? And then it jump cuts to just kind of a towel or a robe or something. It just kind of goes gets dragged back.
My memory has it. The spirit starts standing up and it looks like she's floating. But then it cuts.
I'm gonna need to Google this.
But I might be misremembering that myself. To be fair, I did watch that today, though. To be fair, as well.
Hang on a goddamn second.
I'll look it up. Robbie.
Nah, I'm on it right now.
Okay.
Don't even worry about it. Don't even goddamn worry about it. I've spelt the name of the movie wrong. I'm doing it, all right. I'm on it.
I was going to say, why don't you just go to the link that I sent you?
It's fine. Everything's fine.
Okay.
I
also just saw that the link you sent to that Big Cook, Little Cook thing went
it's
to
good,
the
isn't
chat. No, I haven't seen it yet, but the one it's in the chat with me and Reese. So
yes.
So Reese is just
Reese is gonna. Reese is going to enjoy that.
Just around.
Oh yeah, that's it. So they stand up, and the robe starts to fall off, and gets blown off in the wind. And
That's right.
As it blows towards the camera, there's a jump cut, and they're not there anymore.
That's right. Yes, I could. Yes, yeah.
It's really cool. I like that stuff a lot.
I think as well, like the film has its moments as well in terms of cinematography of where Kurosawa does some really cool dynamic movements where they when they go into the hut, that when the spirits disappear and the camera just moves with them, and then like and the huts, we're moving past the hut and then going through, then moving back with them. It's it's just things like that where it's like I'm not saying it's necessarily revolutionary cinematography, but it's cinematography that works well to be like or like
I must say that. So if we're talking cinematography now, for moving from production design to cinematography, there's some really nice shots in here. So like the one that you just said is a really good example. We mentioned as well before when they first go back to the fortress place, and that like moving shot through everyone, and they've all got their flags and their fucking fires and whatever.
Is it when they get given the swords and then they're walking back in that?
No, it's the literally like the first shot of that scene when it when it first cuts back to that place. There's like a tracking shot that goes through everybody. That looks awesome. It looks so cool. Yeah. The contrast is really nice. It's just really good. But then I would say the majority of it I found really, really dull visually.
I can see what you mean. Yeah, I can understand.
There's a lot of huge wides.
There is a lot of wides.
Where it's like, fucking hell. It's just really flat for me.
Yeah, no, I can agree. I can maybe see what they're trying to do in terms of like, it's like a place, and maybe let's try to replicate it as like a stage type of thing.
Yeah, I can get that.
But it also doesn't make it that interesting. A lot of the time.
Like I think a good example for me is when after the I can't remember what he's called in this, but the King Duncan one. After he dies, and his son comes to battle, and there's all these horses and they're all fighting and whatever. There's a huge wide of that, and it's just like I can appreciate the scale of holy shit, that's like hundreds of real horses or whatever, and people running around and hitting each other. But because it's so wide, I don't care.
You're missing detail.
Yeah, you're just showing me a thing. And it's like, I don't know who anyone is. I'm not invested in anyone in particular in the battle.
Yeah.
And you never get those. Just a mid shot would have been fine. You never get like that. A shot that I wanted would be like the guy we're meant to be following sat on his horseback, like mid shot, it like rears up a little bit or whatever, he comes and smacks someone. Something like that, which I think we get a lot of in stuff like Seven Samurai.
I was just about to say, if we compare both of the qualms that we had there in terms of things about the shot wise, and in comparison to other Kurosawa films we talked about, again, there's some. Again, as I said, that we've said there, like, there's some great shots. Another shot that I actually really liked myself was the moment of where he's. It's always the moment where, whenever happens in a Macbeth. This is always the moment where it's the first big moment where Macbeth can show how, of an actor they are, type of thing. It's the bit where they're all having dinner and all that, and he starts seeing the ghost of the Banquo, but this one being Miki and all that again. And the way that they first do it is in a bit of a wanna, where again he's looking at the empty spot because Miki's not coming. Miki's not eating any because he's been decapitated.
He's fucking dead, mate.
So, but like the camera then like moves in to show Mifune he reacts. We then pull out. Miki's there, and then we, again, when Kurosawa uses movement in this film, it's fucking excellent. Quite frankly, it's all motivated. It's not flashy, but it's effective. I think it's all necessary.
It's a bit like there's a thing in a Every Frame of Painting video about Buster Keaton.
Yes.
Where the rule with the cinematography in those films is that whatever the audience can't see, so whatever's outside a frame, the characters within the frame also cannot see that.
Yeah.
So until it's revealed to the audience, they can't see it. So that one of like it moving back and revealing Miki sat in that chair, that works really well for that.
Yeah.
Because it's that thing of like he doesn't see it until we see it, and it gives a nice kind of connection sort of thing. So I think, yeah, movement's used really nicely a lot of the time.
But if we're on about, if we talk about, again, as you were saying, there's just a lot of wides, which again, I think can help in terms of the scale of it. Being like, wow, just look at all these things. Like, I think there was one bit in the Hidden Fortress where there was just that big set of the stairs and like a load of people like going through a gate and just running down stairs. And it's a big wide and the frame is full. And it's like, holy shit. And all of them are in costumes. And all. So, you know, it's like things like, I was like, oh my God, how expensive is this one frame?
Yeah.
In that, how is this one shot? And this film has examples of that as well. But one about, like, in terms of, like, the battle bits, it is too wide, because we can then look at, like, someone like Seven Samurai, where the camera is on the floor, and the camera is distant, but they've got tight lenses, and we're watching horses ride through puddles and people getting dragged through the mud by the or like people getting smacked. You know, we're seeing really impressive stunts, and we don't. And there's probably impressive stunts happening with this film. There is one specific set action piece. It's the ending, which is iconic and quite outstanding on a technical point of view, I think, in terms of the actual like physical doing it. I think with all the bow and arrows and all that. But I do agree in the sense like it is very just and it is just very big. And if we're on about also just a lot of wides, the film isn't, even though this is a samurai film, this might be the least actiony of the samurai films we've talked about. It's a lot. I mean, it's Macbeth. It's people.
It's a lot of plotting and.
It's people sat in rooms talking.
Yeah.
And that, and we don't get to see. We don't see the king's death. We don't see Miki's death. There's even even in the beginning, there's things where the start of the film is just people running in the castle going like, oh, this is happening, and then transition to another person going, and it's like, and now this is happening. It's like, couldn't we have just seen this happen?
Yeah.
Actually, as opposed to just, because then again, I love samurai films, I love Japanese cinema and all that stuff. But the thing that I always have a struggle with immediately is like all these very Japanese names I need to remember, and then I need to remember instantly who does that name belong to, and it's very difficult to grasp onto it, especially in this film where you get like 5 names thrown at you in the first like 20 seconds, really. Yeah, and it's like, hang on, who's who?
Yeah, who's dead? Who killed him? What's happening? Where am I?
But I think, but a film that I think, and again, it's like the film is just a lot of people talking in wides in rooms, and it's quite flat. And an example, I know you weren't too fussed on it, but in terms of like what a film that I think did a lot better was Kurosawa's Ran, because that film, again, there's a lot of people sat talking, all that. I think what Ran has that Throne of Blood just doesn't is colour. And I think what made Ran a lot more interesting to look at was how vibrant that film was. But what also that film did a lot really well with is because Ran, again, you can say like, oh yeah, well it's wide and very flat and stationary because it's meant to be more, you know, based on the theatre and the stage presence of it all. And, you know, that's what... And I think, I forgot the name of it. There's a certain type of Japanese theatre where it's just one person playing all the roles, but they're just knelt on like a mat, and they have like a fan, something else. They have like a fan, a napkin, and something else, and those are their 3 props, and they can only use those things to, like, it's like, so someone could maybe then use the fan to imitate like a Japanese lady, and then like in the same motion the actor can then transition and fold the fan up, and now he's holding a katana, you know. And so it's just like,
okay, that's really interesting.
So I think you can argue like, oh, they're probably, and that's just flat background, no set, whatever. So you can argue like they're doing that, but what is interesting to me is Ran is also based on Shakespeare, and you could argue as well, be like, oh well, that's very just stage. But Ran was also that Ran took more of an influence of trying to be more ancient Japanese, and the storyboards were painted like traditionally Japanese painted. So the film was trying to replicate more Japanese art style with Like, even like slight things where like, okay, we're going to angle this a certain way and we're going to block the frame in this way. We're going to have this in the background, and then in the foreground we're going to have this, and then this, whatever.
Yeah.
Throne of Blood doesn't have a lot of that. And again, as I said, the sets are impressive, and it's very impressive like how authentic they all look and everything. But they all look a lot the same, is what I will say. It's all very the same, and we're all just watching wides of this. And I'll briefly mention it now, and we can touch further on it. I think Toshiro Mifune is really, really good in the film. I think he's the strongest performer in the film. I would have liked a moment if we got a bit tighter on him at points, maybe. You know, you know what I mean? I feel like, especially when he's just knelt a lot of the times.
Yes.
Punch in a bit.
It feels very. It makes everything feel very voyeuristic. Like I'm watching stuff. This sounds so.
I'm
so
just in the corner looking at the conversation.
Yeah, it's so difficult to explain what I'm talking about because of course you're watching stuff. It's a fucking movie. But what I'm saying is, but like you're not in the conversation. You know, you're not in it watching these two people talk about it and being like, whoa, this, you know, getting invested in it, because it feels like you say, you're just a fly on the wall in a fucking corner somewhere looking from across the room like, what's going on? What's going on over there, guys? You know, it's not. Yeah. I don't know. I don't feel in it, which then I think matched with the pacing of it made it, although it's only a swift hour 45, which I keep asking movies, make yourselves an hour 45 again, please. It fucking annoys me so much. Why is everything so long?
Hey, that's like one of the films I saw last week was like a nice hour 45.
Oh, mwah. It's the perfect length for a movie. I'll stand by that forever. It's the perfect length for a movie is an hour 45 when it's paced properly.
Yeah.
And I think this, by keeping us afar all the time, it stops me from getting invested, which then, because the movie's pacing is pretty slow anyway, I'm fucking checked out within like 30 minutes. Yeah. You know, I'm kind of like, right, I'll watch this because I'll get shouted at if I don't. But
we'll talk about the pacing. We'll say that.
Yeah.
I feel like, because even you, for people who probably listen to this, who's listened to us for the last 50 episodes,
Jesus,
or even if like maybe, or like even an example of maybe watched the 2 marathon videos I put out on like Coriander and One Car Y. I'm not opposed to a slow burn. I'm not opposed to let's hang on a shot and let's have patience. And let's soak in the atmosphere for a bit. Yeah. Robbie, not so much, but like,
yeah, I mean, it depends.
No, but like more often than not, like, there's films that we've watched and I go, yeah, but you know, it's just like the thing, and you're like, yeah, but be interested. I'm like, no, but like,
it's like that thing. The perfect example that we argued about it with is After Sun, and that shot when he's on the balcony, smoking a cigarette, and we stay on him for like 2 minutes, and you're going like, oh, it's just so like real and natural, and I'm going, why the fuck are we holding on this so long? We're learning nothing. Move it along.
That's a good example. In terms of like how we are within that. And so like, and I'm always like, so this film starts and then we get to like them going, they see the spirit and that, and the spirit's singing and moving the wheel.
Yeah. And
then they're looking at the spirit, and then we cut back the spirit's still singing. And at first I'm like, oh, Robbie's going to be bored fuckless. It's going to be so bored with this. I wouldn't be surprised if Robbie starts fast forward in this 15 seconds ahead.
I've never done that.
That's
for any
not true.
Of these.
That's not true.
No. I've never fast forwarded one.
You told me you did that with Modern Times when Charlie Chaplin was feeding the bloke who was stuck in the cogs.
Oh, I did do that.
You went. There's this amazing thing called 15 seconds further.
Yeah, no, that is true. Never mind.
So that's why I was like, okay, he's probably going to do this.
What I mean is, I've never watched one of these for this podcast on like 1.5 speed.
Yeah.
Just to get through it.
Yeah.
I've never done that.
No. So like, so that was my first thought with that. But then the scene kept going. I've seen this film before, and I'm watching it, and then I'm like, yeah, this is going on a bit even for me now, because it oh no, like even it might have helped if I knew the language, because I don't know what the spirit was singing.
Yeah.
so and it's not subtitled either, so I didn't. So
no idea.
So I don't know. So I'm just there like, oh, okay. And then there's that, and then I'm sure there's another. Oh, and then it's the bit after that scene of when they're like on their way back, and then but then there's so many shots of them just riding, but it's not anything either.
Yeah.
So then we take so much longer to get back to the castle, and there's moments like that. I'm like, and then moments like that are kind of littered through the film where we just have long moments. I'm like, it's not. I've never been someone. I've recently discovered I fucking hate plot. Plot is fucking bullshit to me. I don't like it.
Okay.
It's a really forced way to and you know, if all your film has is plot, it's really mechanical and bland and bleh.
Yeah.
Is my thing. Look at a good chunk of the DCEU where it's all plot and you got fuck all character. So
yeah,
and then that's it. Whereas, because I'm like, well, if you have good character, that is good enough motivation for anything to really advance. Is my way of it. So I'm not even like that. But nothing there was some moments where the shots didn't necessarily advance the plot, but even taking that away, it didn't really feel like they advanced the character.
Yeah.
Like there was certain like what did we get from watching the evil spirit sing for that long for the Macbeth and the Banquo? What do we get from that? At first, the first shot we see of the evil spirit, where it's beautifully like contrasted with the black and white, like bright, vivid white, shining, and all that. I would assume they just gave the actor really bright white clothing, and then just made them up white face paint. That's what it looked like to me. It's like, wow, stood out. And they're like, what is that? So that advances the character. The spirit singing for a prolonged period of time is not adding any more to their intrigue.
Yeah.
Or them being more like, feeling like this is an uncanny experience. I feel like if there was something like the spirit was singing and maybe more mist was coming up, or there was some lighting trickery, or you know what I mean? Like I'm not like the length could have still been the same, but just add a bit more to it. Maybe the wind picks up a bit more. Maybe
it's like a siren call and he starts like hallucinating from the music or something.
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 But it was just a still of the spirit spinning the wheel and singing. I'm like, what do we do? So and then to me, I'm like, so this could have been like an hour 20, realistically, what they had.
Yeah, I think that if you trimmed out some of the bits that go on like within scenes that are a little bit too long, and the random fucking insert shots of people just riding horses, and nothing's happening, there's no dialogue, they're just riding horses, you could probably get this down to like an hour 15 at tops.
Which is mad to say because it's a Shakespearean take. You know what I mean? It's fucking Macbeth. You know.
But that's what's weird about it, is that the pacing of doing the plot beats feels like they hit them all, and they do, and that stuff is like they meet the spirit, then they get back, and then he talks to Lady Macbeth. All of the Lady Macbeth stuff is so fucking rushed.
You know, it really is. Considering, again, if we're talking about the story of Macbeth, is the co-lead of Macbeth.
Yeah.
And what's her name? Let me. And
she's called, I think the character's called Asabi, is it, or something?
Yeah, but come on, open up.
Come on.
Izuzu Yamada, the actress.
Yeah.
I didn't have much really at all doing in this. Again, she has the moments of when, you know, she's talking to Shimafune, and then a scene that I really like a lot is, I mean, that again, there's the two scenes that are the Macbeth scenes. The three scenes do it again. The where he sees Miki, there's that scene. There's a scene of where the king is killed, and kind of would have wished I'll get to that in a little bit as well. But like, it's really well done in the sense of, like, you know, Shimafune walks back in with the spear. She takes it from him. We get a nice little close-up of her peeling his fingers off the spear and all that. And then her in that moment's really good. Runs out, murder, you know, all that stuff. Mm-hmm. And then even the moments of, and then even like the scene later on where she's washing her hands, trying to wash the blood off. And then I think, okay, that scene's done really well. The dynamic between both of the actors there are really well. And I can feel the Macbeth and Lady Macbeth in that moment. You know, like there's things like that. But apart from that, what was Lady Macbeth?
Well, exactly. And like, I think what it is that it does all the plot beats it does. It's like rushing to get through all the plot beats of Macbeth. But the scenes themselves are what's paced badly.
Yeah.
I can understand. I think the pacing between the bits that we know of Macbeth is fine for the most part, except, like we say, the Lady Macbeth stuff is like, they trim that character fucking right down. But the actual scenes themselves are what are elongated to no end for no reason.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's like the actual pacing of the pacing within a scene is so slow, and it's infuriating.
Yeah, and I don't even necessarily need music, although I think I liked whatever bits of score they had in this were, like, you know, they were really well done, classic Akira Kurosawa samurai score bits, with like the instrumentation of it all. And I'm like, okay, and that really adds to the atmosphere and vibe of it all.
Yeah,
I feel like if we even had like moments like that when he killed the king, or, you know, like, just, I don't know, like, you maybe utilize the medium of cinema more.
Yeah.
Because I feel like they got the beats, they got it.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure how well it was translated for a screen audience. Is my thing. It would have been fascinating, like, this exact thing as a stage piece. Would I have felt like that? But I'm watching it on my telly and all that. Yeah. Which I know. Yeah. The pacing is slow. It's oddly enough, it's the weakest of the Kurosawas, and it's his shortest film. I could stick on Seven Samurai, fine. You know?
That's the thing that I don't get, is that, you know, I'll say about the perfect duration of a film being about 1 hour 45, but how long Seven Samurai? About 4 hours?
3 hours and 20. 3 hours.
Yeah,
and 20, yeah.
3 hours 20, and I was like, great.
Yeah,
this is amazing.
Yeah. No,
it's really weird.
And he did Seven Samurai before this. This came out 3 years after Seven Samurai. So it's not like he took his time. You know?
Yeah. Well, exactly. Yeah.
Like he already did it. He already like reached it. It's weird. Oh no. I think is like, in terms of what forced me more to have an interest in the film. And it would be a lot more interest. I'll be interested to see what someone watching this film who has no knowledge of the story of Macbeth, or if this would have even kept interest. And I'm not saying like you have massive interest in Macbeth, but I think what could at least keep me really attached, apart from seeing Toshiro Mifune act, who I think is one of my favorite actors. And again, as we've said, this is the fourth film, the third film that we've seen. No, he was in Sword of Doom as well. So so this is the fourth Toshiro Mifune film we've seen. And all 4 times he's played someone, he's had different characters. He's not the same at all. You know, he's not, you know, he's not who he was in Seventh Samurai in this film, nor was he the same in Hidden Fortress, nor was he the same in Sword of Doom. He's such a diverse actor, and we've only seen him play samurai. So, you know, so that's that. But I think, like, apart from just watching Toshiro Mifune act and the samurai setting, all that keeps me interested. But in terms of from a plot point of view, what at least keep me locked in is, like, I'm like almost trying like check off in the sense of, okay, so now, this is how they're doing this version.
Yeah.
Like, okay, it's like, so I wonder how they're going to kill the king in this version. That's how they're doing it. Okay. I wonder how they're going to do the ghost of Banquo. That's how they're doing it in this version. How are they going to do? So it's more so like an intrigue of like, right, I know the beats of Macbeth, and I know the moment. It's like when I first watched the film, I'm like, I wonder how they're going to do the Three Witches, and then okay, so they're doing it very more Japanese folklore. That's it. You know, so I'm also checking off the beats of the Macbeth plots, more sort of intrigue of how they're going to do it. So I wonder how that would come across to someone who doesn't know Macbeth or give a shit about it. Because would there be much interest plot-wise? Because this film doesn't do you any more for character. I will say that. The film doesn't keep you involved with any of the characters, which again is bizarre for a Kurosawa film, I think. Yeah.
I think as well, if we're talking performances.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say I'm gonna rip the plaster off.
Yeah, go on.
Apologies, everyone. I didn't like anyone's performance in this.
Okay.
I thought everyone was overacting massively.
Okay. Yeah.
To the point where I also don't think the script helped very much. There was a lot of times where people were just saying what they were seeing.
Yeah. Okay.
Or saying what was happening.
My horse is scared.
Yeah, but when they were doing that, it was like, they're attacking from the fur. Yeah, we know. I've sincere. Chill the fuck out. Just a little bit more nuance would have been cool. I think it was most obvious for me with. I think the lady playing the Lady Macbeth character.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know that Lady Macbeth is this manipulative character and all that kind of stuff, but she's really fucking doing that up straight away.
Yeah.
I know in the original play there isn't a lot of time where you get to see them properly as a couple. She is very straight on it, but in this she was just straight away like, I'm a crazy woman and you need to kill the king. And it was a bit like, whoa, okay. Let's just dial this back a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I think a lot of and I don't think that is a performance choice on the part of the actors. I think it's a directorial choice.
Yeah. Because it's so across the board.
Yeah, exactly. It's so like everybody that I think it must be a directorial choice to make it more theatrical. Like we're saying about like the wide camera angles and stuff like that. He's clearly making it. He's wanting to make it feel like a theatrical piece.
Yeah.
But it doesn't work for me. Mm-hmm. The kind of overacting of it all. It just makes it feel really weird, and again, very like disjointed, disconnected for me from the characters. It's very, yeah. I think I could agree with you, but I think I liked Toshiro Mifune in this because he does have a charisma to him. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I think it. You know, like how we said about like I just like watching Bruce Lee films because I like watching Bruce Lee. Yeah. Like even in The Big Boss, where it's a film that both of us, you more so than me, but weren't as hot on that film as we were the two other Bruce Lee films. But I can still look at this, and I like watching Toshiro Mifune freak out.
Yeah,
like
he's very good at it.
And then when he, one of the very few times we actually see the katana get removed from the sheath, and him going
Yes,
and it's like, whoa, this is okay.
Right, here we go. This is what I've been waiting for.
There's something here, but so I think that's where it comes down. Because I can agree with you there. Like, there's nothing drawing. Like, there's no one in this where I'm like, holy shit, what a fucking performer. I mean, even a guy that is a Kurosawa regular, Takashi Shimura, who's in this film, who has been in like Hidden Fortress and Seven Samurai, who was incredible in Seven Samurai. Yeah, he was the older samurai who kind of like, he's in this film, but could he have been? Like,
could he have been literally anyone? Maybe.
Exactly.
Possibly.
Whereas I think like was like there's like Toshiro Mifune choose it up at times, and it's and there's a bit of fun to it to have there for me, I think, and like and we can move on to this point, which is not necessarily it's kind of the thing that I've realized, like, what is missing from this film for me personally. Yeah. Again, it makes it sound like I didn't like the film. I did. Again, there's points where I have said that I do that I liked, but I will admit, not necessarily the one I'm rushing to the most. It's a bit in terms of Kurosawa. It's more of an interesting type of film in the sense, like, do you want to see Kurosawa do Macbeth? He did it.
Sure,
and this is what he did. So that's where that comes into it. So that's where that is with it. It's not like where it's like, do you want to see a banging Kurosawa film?
Yeah.
That and all that. But it's the bits of where, like, what I realized what's kind of missing from this is it clicked to me at the very end, and it's during the arrows sequence, which is insane, incredible. I can't even imagine how you plan that. I can't even imagine, because those are real arrows firing right at it, and Toshiro Mifune is right there as it's happening, and he's getting the arrow. It's a bit messy because he gets the arrows in him. He's like, shit, he's crashing through it more. It gets more and more and more and more, and it's fucking mental. And and the whole sequence ends with an arrow going through his neck, which is which is clearly just a cut, but it's such a cool cut.
So like,
it's like
Jesus.
That moment, I'm like, oh my god! And then it's like, and then he has, and it's like through the neck. It doesn't look fake. Like it's practical. It's like the effects done so well that you can't see like a molding round there of where like he suctioned it or what, like it's all done so well. And one thing I realized, it's like what I missed from this is the brutality of a samurai film. Yeah. And I think especially for a story like Macbeth, we probably could have done with a bit more violence. And I'm not saying like violence needs to be in every film. I think you could make a good story with no violence whatsoever. And it's not like I don't, and I mean, hey, 12 Angry Men I think is the best film ever, and that's just 12 people talking about violence, and we don't actually ever see. So that's not even my issue with it. But I think what would make this film a lot more like just the oomph. It's like, because the moments where I end up like leaning in and being like really interested, apart from like the spiritual stuff with it, which I kind of wish we had more of. I wish we had like more of like the horror, like spirits and all that, like the evil spirit and all that with it all. But like, it's the moment where like he kills the king and he walks back in with the bloody spear, and I'm like, I would have liked to watch that. What I mean? Like, I would have liked to watch him go into the room, and then
I would have liked to have like maybe a close up on a curtain, some shadows, bit of blood splatting on.
Yeah,
just like something that.
Like I would have liked to see maybe, like, this is the first samurai film we've talked about that doesn't have a samurai fight.
Yeah,
like
no sword fights.
Even Hidden Fortress, which only has like one samurai standoff. But it's still a cool samurai standoff. Ran doesn't necessarily have a one-on-one duel, but it has a big raid. Arrows flying everywhere. People, katanas get, excuse me. There's some sort of visceral, like, holy shit to it. Yeah. And I think that's what was missing for me, was just a fight. And and because I'm not a Macbeth expert. I will say that. And I'm not like a Shakespeare aficionado. I liked learning about his stuff in school. That's where my knowledge and my interest is there. And I remember liking Macbeth the most in school. So that's where that is with me. It's not like a thing where like, well, I read it's my favorite thing to read or anything. It's like, I like it.
Yeah.
You know, there's stuff there. But so I don't know exactly the adaptations of it, but I'm gonna pull the example of like the second stage performance I've seen of Macbeth was the Nolan School of Arts thing for it. And within that, the second year actors stage thing of it, and within that, it has the son of it's not
Banquo.
Is it Banquo or was it Macduff? Can't remember. It might be Banquo.
It's Banquo's son, isn't it? Because he tries to kill both of them, and then the son escapes.
That's right. Yeah. There's a moment, but there's a moment towards the end of the Macbeth that I saw, directed by Johnny Bustle, produced by the Nolan School of Art, where it ends with a knife fight battle between Macbeth and Ruby's character, who might be Macbeth, and there's
who might be Macduff,
and it's a one-on-one fight with eventually Ruby slashing Alex, who play Macbeth's throat. That's that. And in my head, I'm like, fuck, it just would have been
see
cool.
that.
It would have been fucking cooler if, like, this film instead. Again, the arrows are impressive, but it would have been cooler if Miki's son cornered him and we got a sword fight between the two of them. Because then that's when I feel like, because they didn't do a great job at building the emotion with it, but that would have been a great, like, okay, I'm feeling the stuff they've been wanting me to feel. With, like, you know, it could have been a thing like, you know, like, I mean, we'll get to the film next season, but like, it's a like, with Enter the Dragon, we're going to be talking Enter the Dragon next season. But there's a similar thing of like, where it's like, walks into a room, shuts it, fight happens. Could have been like, or like, you could have still had the arrows, but then he tries to escape, gets in another room, then a sword fight happens. I feel like that would have been so like, oh my God. But, and then you could have done all the trippy things where you start seeing his Lady Macbeth. He starts seeing the spirits.
Because he's like fucking tripping out. He's bleeding out.
You starts seeing, basically, you know how Sword of Doom ended.
Yeah, like that.
Just that. But like, but I feel like that's just what it was missing, was just the more visceral violence that a samurai film can bring with it. Which is odd, considering Macbeth is a very violent, visceral Shakespeare story.
It's weird, like, for this one, he was like, all right, guys, I'm going to turn it back.
Let's be like, sit down and talk. Akira, mate, we usually do like a bit over 2 hours. We're like clocking in. You could add a half an hour if you want of just fighting.
We're clocking it in about an hour right now, Akira, and we've kind of shot everything. He's like, shoot some more people on their fucking horses, man. Get that spirit back in here. We're going to record a fucking song.
Phil Menz goes like, oh, well, he goes, it's like, oh, well, that was a bit too serious. Oh, well, I guess the next thing I'll do, Hidden Fortress, because that came out a year after. So
right, brilliant.
Maybe it's interesting. He's like, I think his intent of Hidden Fortress was like, he just kind of got a bit done doing really deadly serious films, so he was like, fuck it, let's just do a bit of a laugh. So it's interesting this being the last one before he did that. It's like, God.
I'll put C-3PO and R2-D2 in there.
What's that? You'll know. Your kids will love it.
Your kids are going to love it. God.
Yeah, a good enough film, I think.
It's aight.
Like, it's not.
I didn't like it, but
no, but you know what I mean. Like, it's not complete.
It's not a complete dog shit. It's fine.
It's not like fucking. Oh, Akira Kurosawa shut the bed with this one. It's just. You know what? It really is exactly what I mean, in the sense of like, if you're having a Kurosawa samurai binge, this is a decent enough one to have amongst that marathon.
Yeah.
It's just not one that I would go out of my way to watch independently.
No.
Really.
It certainly is a movie that you can watch.
I got my opinion. I got my full round opinion on Throne of Blood from watching this, which it's fine. It's good.
Yeah, it's alright.
It's Akira Kurosawa adapting Macbeth. But just without any of the violence, weirdly. But yeah. I believe that's my final little things with Throne of Blood. Is it?
Yeah, I mean we've wrapped it up.
We wrapped it up. Yeah,
we've done everything we needed to say.
Yeah.
Look at us, guys. You know, just a couple of guys, fucking seasoned veterans of the craft.
50 episodes into this.
50 episodes in, we've got it down to a fucking formula.
Yeah, that was a good discussion because we never done this before. We've done a retrospective on the discussion seconds later after doing it because we also referenced all the other unintentionally. We're like, if you go back to this episode, our point being with this, if you go back, so this, good 50 actually, good film to talk about the 50.
This has been lovely. Anyway, I'll see you next week.
Yeah.
See you later.
The way we do
great to see you.
It's like, it'd be lovely catching up with you. I gotta go.
I gotta go, mate. Sorry, I've got a thing.
But then it becomes like, be great. Yeah, excellent. We walk out of the cafe. We shake hands. We go lovely seeing you. See you later, mate. And then we walk the same direction.
Little kiss on the cheek.
We do the bit of a hug, handshake. See you later, mate. Yeah, you too. We walk the same way.
Yeah.
Well.
Same. I hold the door open for you, but we don't acknowledge it. Nothing.
Well, I don't think I've ever done that. I've had it before. It's happened to me before where I'm like, good seeing you. Okay, we'll see you later. And then we walk the same direction. But then we go, this is awkward now. So then we just keep talking until we do go separate ways. But I've never done the thing of see you later, mate. Goodbye. Okay, off you go. And then we walk the same direction, but we just choose to ignore each other. I don't think I've ever done that.
I've had that quite recently, actually. So I'm at work. I'm trying to meet new people. And then sometimes you'll have a conversation with a new person and they go, the conversation comes to its natural conclusion. You've run out of things to talk about pertaining to tea. and you go, see you later.
I like PG. I like Yorkshire myself. I'm 20.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, do you know how they work this hot tap? Yeah, you just put that. Yeah. Anyway, they go, see you later. And I go, yeah, see you in a bit. And then they walk out. But we've been making the tea at the same time, so we're both ready, and there's only one door out. So I just kind of followed silently behind them. For a little while.
I've done that before though, where you've just hung back. You go let's just not catch up with them.
But I'm like a meter or so behind, and they go. We even go up the stairs. And I'm just behind them, and then they come off at the first floor, and us in post production are up in the dark on the top floor.
So it's not like you're on the same floor. It's not.
No.
Keep going in that.
No, at least I can keep going. But it's God, it's an awkward walk. My God.
Have you
anyway, as we get into the intermission, I'm going to get a glass of water, which is what I'm holding in my hand right now. Although it looks like I'm holding nothing at all.
Do you know another thing you could? Can you still hear me?
Yes, I can. I can for now. Yes.
I was going to say another funny background you could have done. You could have just had the band Thrones, Sir Lewis's band, just be like.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, I could have had that picture of Connor.
What, the one.
The one that's the album cover or.
Whatever
it is. For reference, that people that don't understand this is a screenshot from the TV show Barry in an episode where they performed Macbeth. Fucking watch that show if you haven't. It's really good.
I thought it was just. Oh, it is Barry. I haven't seen Barry. I thought you just put a Game of Thrones image up.
No, mate, it's so good. Right, okay, I'm gonna.
Yeah, you get the water.
Get a glass of water and then I'll talk about
that. Yeah. So, I'll see how I feel about if this will get cut, this little section, because I don't have anything else to say that doesn't involve a conversation, or the things I do have to say. Robbie needs to hear it and respond and that. But so I'll just,
What the hell's this guy talking about?
Oh, well, I was just trying to say I don't know if I'm going to cut that bit.
So, well, fucking do what you want.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I'll see how it goes. But yeah. So.
Barry's great. I binged it all a few weeks ago. I think it peaks at season 2.
This is what I've heard.
Season 3 and 4 are good still. It ends really strong.
Okay.
But it kind of... It tonally changes after the season 2 finale.
Right.
Because the whole show is like... And I'm going to try and do this in the least spoilery way possible.
Yeah, please, because I actually do really want to watch this show.
Yeah. So. The whole show is this guy, and it's the question of, can he leave a life of murdering?
Yeah.
And can he stop killing people and put that all behind him, sort of thing? And it's that debate. And you think that's the whole show, but it's that debate for the first 2 seasons, and then for the last 2, it's like, oh, this guy fucking sucks. He's just a terrible person.
I know. Hiro Murai directed stuff from the first 2 seasons. I don't think it had anything to do with 3 and 4. But
4, Bill Hader directs all episodes of series 4.
Okay. I don't think Hiro Murai did any of 3. So I think Hiro Murai just did stuff in 1 and 2.
Yeah. But it's really good, and Bill Hader's amazing, and has very quickly become like one of my favorite dudes working today.
Oh,
just
really?
From watching that show. His writing's amazing.
Yeah,
he's great in the show. He's a really good director.
Oh, cool.
And you can see like how he progresses and how he grows when you're watching it and all that kind of stuff. So it's really good. Henry Winkler's really good in it.
Oh, nice.
It's good.
Yeah.
Everyone that's been saying it's good, they're right. It's good. Yeah. What do you want? What do you want from me?
No, there's a good few shows where I'm like, I need to actually still watch. Like, I need to watch Succession. Like, that's the one that like I've heard, it's.
I've tried with Succession. I'm gonna give it a proper go soon.
I've also intentionally not done it as it was finishing off, because I'm like, I just don't want to be involved with the hype.
Yeah,
like, I don't want another Breaking Bad situation where I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna have to watch this. Like, I'm gonna have to watch this shit.
I think with Succession as well, the way I'm now seeing it is, put it this way, I don't remember seeing anybody say a word about that show until it was on like its 3rd or 4th season.
No, same. Yeah.
So I don't want it to be. I think it's going to be one of those ones where I say I've never seen it, and then people persuade me to, and then I watch it, and I go, I don't really like it all that much, and they go, you've just got to stick with it, man. No, it gets really good in like season 3. Fuck you, man. I don't want to sit through 2 seasons of shit. I'm sorry.
I haven't heard that about it. I've just heard it's all really good, and it just keeps going. That's what I've heard. So I'm okay. So I'll get to it eventually.
I don't want a Breaking Bad situation where everyone tells me that it's the best thing that's ever been made.
And it's fine for the first 2 seasons.
I haven't seen it all. I got like halfway through season 2 and was like, I just don't like this. Yeah, I'm sorry. And everyone was like, but season 3 is when Gus comes in and it gets so good. And I'm like, I'm not sitting through 2 seasons of okay telly to get to the best bits.
I think all of it's like, I think that, to be fair, I went through that thing with Breaking Bad, but I think there was enough that I was liking in it to keep me going, but nothing was like blowing me away. You know what I mean?
Well, that's the thing. It's like I like the characters and stuff, but none of it was like whoa.
Like I wasn't like on the edge of my seat.
Yeah.
Through and again, I'll say, until it got like the latter half of season 4, where I was like, this is amazing, and then all of season 5 was amazing. So it's like I'm like, okay, I'm glad I watched it. But it's not a show where I'm like, you have to watch Breaking, but it's like it has become one of those ones where like if you want to get into TV, that's almost like a fucking default where you have to get in or you have to watch it just to say you fucking watched it.
Yeah. What do you want to talk about? Do you want to talk about The Flash?
Yeah, well, I was going to briefly just say, like, I need to finish Atlanta still. I need to actually watch season 4. I need to watch season 4.
I need to watch season 3.
Yeah, no.
I haven't seen the last 2 seasons as well.
I told you 3's a weird one. Like, it's good, but it's like, it felt like a side season.
Because isn't it like every other episode is with the main guys?
Yes. And then there's a good chunk of just anthology episodes, which are like, oh, this is interesting. It's very Atlanta in the way of like, you know what I mean? Like how it's a bit offbeat. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
okay. But, you know, I liked their narrative.
Yeah.
I like watching.
Can we get back to that, please?
And season 4 looks like that. But it's like, because obviously season 2 ended, they're on a European tour.
Yes, yeah.
And then season 4 is the back in Atlanta. So I'm like, so you go. So it's not like season 3 is continuing in like touring. It's just But yeah, no, I do want to finish that just because like, well, the first 2 seasons of Atlanta are like quality television. Like that's like it was like
so good.
It was like that and Fleabag were my 2 first binges of pandemic.
Yeah.
But yeah.
God damn.
We can talk The Flash.
Because I've got like a few things. I've got 4 things that I can think of that I want to talk about in the intermission.
Okay. I've got 3. One of them's The Flash.
Okay, we'll do The Flash and get that out of the way, and then we'll alternate.
Okay. Well, no, because the other bit. Should we do the bit that I said like, I can continue it from the beginning?
Oh yeah, do that. Yeah.
Right. So the thing that like, and I can probably say the first. No.
Don't risk it. Don't risk it.
No, it's.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'll say a little bit about it publicly.
Vaguely tell me what you're talking about.
No.
Then we can cut it.
No, that's actually a good shout. So I'll say the bit that I can say because this happened before this thing.
Yes.
And then I can say the bit, and then I can then go. Do you think I should be kept in? And then we can. We can do it.
Okay, yeah.
It's nothing bad either. It's nothing bad, but
okay. I'm curious. I don't remember anything. That would be
right. So the first bit was just like this. This is how like of a really solid birthday night it was.
Yeah, it was lovely.
It was a really good time. After Spoons, we went to Idols again. I don't want to dox myself, but what I'm saying is I don't live far away from there. So it's a nice time to just fucking...
Somebody get the IP.
So it's just nice to be able to finish a night out and I'm back home soon. But also we had the advantage of like it was a nice night and it was a warm day. So the night wasn't bad either. Yeah. So like I didn't hate walking long ways.
I had a nice time going back to my hotel room with my girlfriend and Reese.
Yes.
I'll explain. I'll elaborate no further.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We don't need.
I'll be taking no further questions. Thank you.
that is a thing that did happen. Can confirm. But you know this is like the example of like how like how perfect of a birthday thing it was for me. It's a Saturday night as well. Yeah. Idols isn't bulging out. You know what I mean? It's not.
It won't bouncing.
No. So okay, but there's enough people there where there's an atmosphere. So this is cool, nice. We get in, we go up to the top floor, whatnot, and then I go okay, and then I go like, well, I'm gonna go down and I'm gonna request Black Parade because obviously go down, go to the DJ. Yeah. Can you play Black Parade? He went, yeah, we'll do. No worries. Okay, cool. I'm not sure if it's because I had a birthday badge on, but like, because usually my experience when I request a song, it's going to be maybe the end of the night before I hear that fucking thing.
Yeah.
I go back upstairs. The song that's already playing finishes. I hear Black Parade. Just instantly right off the bat. So like, great. And then I'm finished singing along with that. I then go to Connor, who's, it was a joint birthday celebration, also wearing a birthday badge. And I go like, you request Smells Like Teen Spirit because I can't go back down again because then it's just going to be just me. It's like, you request it. And I went, I will after I finish my pint. Slowest drinker is all I'm saying. And then
man. Jesus.
And then I just go like, get Nirvana on after a bit. And he went, all right, okay. He goes back down, comes back up. Next song plays, Smells Like Teen Spirit. So like, I'm fine. 2 songs that I would have wanted to hear that I could sing along and dance to, played. And that was and the place didn't even shut by that point either. So it's like, brilliant. Good. Again, it's the little things where it's like, what a birthday. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Having a good time. I sing around with 2 songs that I know. A few others might have known as well. Who was it? Oh, I was trying to get Alex to sing along to Black Parade. Didn't know.
No idea. Not a clue.
Didn't know.
God bless her.
But yeah, so here's the bit that might get cut. So, The Flash.
The Flash.
Do you want to start it off?
Yeah, fuck it. So, this movie. Oh, God. This movie was supposed to come out what was initially announced to be in development in 2004. It went through many different versions, many different directors.
Many different cinematic universes.
Of course, Robert Zemeckis was meant to do it at one point, which would have been chef's kiss, I imagine. Probably.
Would have been.
I don't know. This movie's basically Back to the Future anyway, so fucking...
yeah, but Robert Zemeckis hasn't really done a hot film in a while.
Yeah, no, that's true. He got too obsessed with doing awful-looking people.
Gee, I hope there was none of that in this one.
Oh, yeah, thank God. Thank God we avoided that. Fucking hell.
Fucking
I'll get onto it. I'll get onto it.
Polar Express looking ass.
Oh, God, it was fucking dreadful. Anyway, it went through all these revisions. Obviously, within the time when it came out, the comic, the Flashpoint Paradox was released.
Yes.
Which of course became the only Flash comic that's ever been written.
Yeah, of course.
Because it's the only fucking one anyone talks about for some reason. There are other Flash comics that you can base things on, guys. Fucking hell.
As someone who's not a Flash person, the only reason why I know about Flashpoint is because it has a big impact on Batman.
Yes, exactly. It's like, what we're gonna do a Flash movie. Which storyline are we gonna do? Are we gonna use I don't know, one fucking Flash villain? Just use one. Just fucking Captain Cold at the beginning, maybe. I don't know, or Mirror Master, or something at the beginning. No, we're going to do the story that's got Batman in it, because Batman sells. Fuck you guys. You don't care about the Flash at all. Anyway, sorry.
They don't.
So, it was then going to go through all these things. Blabbity blobity. Loads of different directors were on it. Chris Miller and Phil Lord were on it for a bit.
Chris Miller.
Yeah, Rick Famuyiwa was on it for a bit from Dope, which would have been
That's
cool,
right.
probably. I like him. He wanted to do a version that was the Flash versus the Rogues, so like Mirror Master and Captain Cold and actual Flash villains, and also have Cyborg in it. Cool, sounds good.
That's right. Yes, Cyborg was, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And then Walter Hamada took over DC.
Yes.
It was changed again. Andy Muschietti came on board.
Yeah, he did.
Boy did he. And
I don't think the issues in the film is his.
No, do I?
Yeah.
And then the ending changed like 3 times. There was a version where Walter Hamada's plan was that we're just gonna do spoilers. Fuck it.
Oh yeah, well obviously.
Walter Hamada's plan was that Barry would change the timeline back at the end, and he would get back to his time. He would get back to the future, and he's changed the timeline. So now Michael Keaton is Batman for the DC universe.
Yes.
There's no Superman, but Supergirl from this movie is there, and all this kind of stuff. That was the initial plan, which was then going to lead into Aquaman 2, where Michael Keaton was going to be in it as Batman. They changed that ending of The Flash. I'm guessing
wasn't Keaton also going to be within Batgirl?
He was going to be in Batgirl. There was photos of that released this week.
Yeah.
And then it was changed, and I think it was going to be Ben Affleck just was at the end. Or, yeah, because then they refilmed the Batman scene in Aquaman 2 and brought Ben Affleck back. Mm-hmm. Then James Gunn came in. Oh, well, no. They scrapped all... James Gunn came in, and they scrapped all of that and was like, we're not carrying on this stuff, we're starting again.
Yeah.
And so the ending was changed a third time to make no fucking sense. So...
I mean, I don't hate the ending in this one.
It's fine, but this movie went through so many changes and so many script rewrites, and then Ezra Miller went on a crime spree and all that.
Yeah, they did.
And all that sort of stuff. So honestly, it's a fucking miracle that this movie even exists at all.
Yeah, it's not Four Sticks disaster, is what I will say.
No, it's really not. And what I will say is, I know people are enjoying shitting on it and such, and what I will say is, hey everybody, just because you saw a really shitty ripped clip of it on Twitter and saw people goofing on it, I don't know, maybe don't form your opinions on an entire movie from a 30-second clip you see on Twitter recording on someone's fucking phone.
Yes.
Maybe pay and go and see the movie.
Yeah, and then have an opinion.
And then have an opinion. Because it's really annoying me that... It's not annoying me that this movie's bombing. I don't care because...
No, I think I have the same reaction with you. It's like, I'm hearing it's bombing. My initial reaction is like, but then I'm like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, it's like, it doesn't matter. All of this DC universe is in the bin anyway. It's literally just like, get the last couple out and fucking sack it off.
My slight worry about it is with that and people seeing it's bombing, people seeing the shit clips. Yeah. Being on a shitty recorded phone on a cinema, and people look at that, and then they're looking again at a 30-second clip of a 2.5 hour long film and going like, oh, well, the whole film's dog shit. And then they're going to see Andy Muschietti is going to be doing The Brave and the Bold, and then people are then going to say, the guy who did that is doing, it's going to be disastrous. It's going to be disastrous.
The guy that directed that bit where the Flash puts a baby in a microwave, that clip's reversed. For fuck's sake!
It is.
Stop! And also, stop posting that on Twitter like it's in the movie. It's not. He's taken a baby out of a microwave. Did he put it there in the first place? Yes.
Yeah, but not in that way.
But not in that way.
But also, right, we'll get to that bit. But also, I think as well. Yes, the CGI. Is it ropey in a lot of spots? Yes, it is. But can you see the focus of where they did put it? Yes, they clearly put a lot of focus on the CGI in all the Batman stuff. They made all the Batman stuff look actually really cool, whether it be Ben Affleck or Michael Keaton. This is why I think people should look at this before they start shitting on the concept of Andy Muschietti directed a Batman film, because the man knows how to direct Batman action and make it look really fun, cool, and punchy comic booky.
Yeah.
So
exactly. So I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Overall, for this movie, because I don't want to talk about it for too long.
No. There's no need to talk about it.
So what I will say is, I quite liked it.
Yeah.
I thought it was good fun. It had a fun energy about it. It had a really good, funny vibe that was very Back to the Future, and I love those movies. So I thought...
Yeah, it was, yeah.
I don't want to praise them, obviously, as a person, as a human being.
I know what you mean,
In this movie, Ezra Miller's quite good. I liked them in it.
Where they played the dual part well, I think as well.
I think from a scripting standpoint, having the younger Barry... having the older Barry meet the younger Barry and think, fucking hell, this guy's obnoxious, and then becoming kind of a mentor to that.
Yeah,
that's really good, and is a good way of making someone who was really unlikable in the Justice League movies a more enjoyable character to put him face to face with himself and be like, oh fuck, I suck. I'm real annoying.
I think from a script point of view, there's a lot of there isn't an issue from like. If you just told me the story beats this film takes, and with the characters, I'm like, okay, yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's good. I think that in comparison to other multiverse films, they were a lot less ambitious than others recently in terms of what possibly could have been done with the concepts and stuff. Like, I'm not saying it needed to be, but there was moments in this film where, again, I'll briefly read my Letterboxd review just like that sums up my thoughts with it. I gave it 3 stars with a little heart, so I liked it. 3 stars. I just put it's stupid and ridiculous, but I'd be lying if I said I wasn't entertained for the whole thing. That's honestly my thing with it. It's over 2 hours long, but I was like, you know what, this was fine to watch. And there was like little moments where I'm like the beginning started, and I think little moments where I'm like, oh, a Flash film could be really neat because there's a lot of cool set pieces you could do with speed. And I started getting a little bit hyped because I didn't even see any of the CGI stuff before the film. I just heard it was naff.
Yeah.
But then I was getting hyped where I was like, oh, he's going to get set off running. I'm like, oh, this is going to be cool. And then he runs. I'm like, oh, this isn't cool. But I can see but I can see how this could be cool. Yeah, it is a thing. And then the whole thing with the babies falling out, me and Lewis were howling laughing. I was just like, I cannot believe what I'm watching. This is absolutely insane that I'm watching slow-mo babies fly out of a building. But I'm like, this is ridiculous and silly and insane. But this is going to be a memory. I'm going to remember this.
Exactly.
And it's going to be, and I'm having a good time watching it.
Like,
with a mate.
What my thing with that was, there's like people going like, fuck, it's so ridiculous. Like, why is this so goofy? Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, dude, it's fun.
Yeah.
It really reminded me of like the Raimi Spider-Man movies.
No, it really is.
For that scene of like, and it's like, it's a bit campy and it's a bit daft.
Yeah.
But just fucking enjoy yourself. Like,
I like the little bits of like how it's like Alfred's talking to Barry, and it's like, yeah, well, you need to like help save, clean up. And he goes like, I feel like I'm just cleaning up after Batman's bullshit. Yeah. And like that's such a funny thing. Like Batman's mowing through debris and stuff, and Flash is just tying up, make sure building doesn't fall over. It's like, fuck, can he just not? Can he not?
Exactly. Like it's a fun dynamic, and like a good example for me is that when he realizes that he's lost his speed. He goes to set off, and then there's just this really extended shot of him running like a fucking idiot around the room, and the sound design of just his shoes squeaking on the wooden floor. Great, loved it.
But the bit, so I'm already having a good time with that, and then like there's little things where it's like we get introduced to Keaton, and then it's like, right, we're gonna go and see the Superman and all that. And again, me being I've said this many times, like there's like as a Batman fan, I'm simple to please with a lot of things. Yeah. So, I'm just sitting, it's like I'm watching. We will get to them all eventually in a commentary form because I do, but like we're gonna talk. We will commentate on the Lego Batman movie at some point. Yeah. I love that shit where it's like the little things. They just reference the 40s cereal. Yeah. They just reference that and all that stuff. I'm that guy with it all. So like there's the moment where you first see Arkham Asylum in Joker. It's the first time that I'm looking at an Arkham Asylum on screen that actually looks like Arkham Asylum, and then me being a goof, I'm getting a little bit like, oh my god, that's Arkham Asylum on the big screen. Yeah, I'm like that with it. So it's like it's fun seeing Michael Keaton as Batman. It's fun hearing the with him flying the bat. That's fun. It's fun seeing him, even though it's CGI Keaton, it's fun seeing him kick so much ass because we didn't get him doing that in the 80s and early 90s because the suit was so restricted. So like, oh, we'll just CGI him really kicking ass. So like, this is so cool. I'm seeing this Batman just go ham. So I'm having fun with that. And then it gets to the point where like we're approaching like we're going to find the Superman in this universe. And I'm like, well, if this is and then I'm recycling in my head like, well, if this is the Keaton universe, I'm like, oh, there wasn't a Superman in this time because I was trying to think to myself like, what could they be doing? I was like, there wasn't any. And I thought like, and then I had the thought in my head, Nick Cage was meant to be the Superman in this time period. And then I went to Lewis, I went, what if the pod opens and it's Nick Cage? And then he was like, if that happens. So me and Lewis just waiting. And we're like, and then I also did go to him, I did go, right, this isn't going to happen because I feel like I would have heard about this. But like, there's no way they could have kept this secret. But I'm like, but fucking imagine. So like, I was already dampening my expectations. And then we get Supergirl, which she's fine. Yeah, she's fine. I'm like,
she doesn't get enough to do really.
No, but like, there was that little bit in my head where I was like, if I see long-haired Nick Cage in that dome.
You only had to wait about 45 minutes, mate.
Hey, and I still howled, and I still had a good time watching it. It might not have been exactly how I wanted, but I was laughing my ass off at it.
What?
It's like the CGI. I saw the mane. I heard him go. I heard the scream. He fought a spider. I was like, that did enough. That did enough for me.
I think so. Okay.
Although I will say that moment is so niche, and this is one thing I've discovered, is that like all the things that I really enjoyed and got really giddy stuff out of it is playing so close to if you know all of this to begin with.
Yeah.
And if you don't, you're just going to be confused. The film ended I like that George Clooney, he made a cameo, liked it a lot.
It's fine.
No, but it's a fun little thing. So heard his voice, he comes out, nice one.
Yeah.
And film ends, Victoria and her sister look to us, and Victoria goes, so why was George Clooney there? Because both of them, they don't know Batman pre-bail. They just don't know that. Yeah, so they just don't know that. So they go like, so why was George Clooney there? And then they go, why the fuck was Nicolas Cage super? They completely lost to them. Yeah. So then I have to briefly explain the whole death of Superman lives.
Yeah.
Like, right, this is the whole situation. And they go like, so why was Clooney there? Why was that like a punchline? Because he was in the Batman film that killed the fucking... He was in the worst, but he was in like... I was going to say the worst, but I mean Justice League is worse. But he was in the worst solo Batman film.
Yeah. I just like, so if I'm gonna wrap it up, I think
Yeah.
It was all right. I had fun with it. I was disappointed by Keaton, but I don't think that I was ever gonna be blown away by Keaton because I don't like that version of Batman anyway.
I think that's what we said in our commentary.
Yeah.
We're like, we can appreciate him for this. He's not our choice for our faves.
Exactly. Like for me, it was like what I thought was. I remember sitting and watching Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield appear in Spider-Man No Way Home for the first time and shitting myself.
Yeah. I didn't get that with this.
And like, I was like, in probably a year's time, I'll think about the Flash movie and I won't remember that he was even in it.
Yeah, same. No, honestly, yeah.
Which, at first I was like, that's fucking naff. But then I thought to myself and was like, well, it's because... I fucking love Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire. I don't care that much about Keaton.
But do you know what it would have been, though, for me? Because I feel like... do you remember that one... This is the one thing that got me excited about this Flash film as a concept. Was the first thing they ever released of it was a concept art with Ezra Miller's Flash doing a bit of a run. And then you had Batfleck and Keaton Batman in the same screen. I'm like, if I saw the two of those... punching up people together, that would have been a bit more of a moment for me than just simply seeing Michael Keaton as Batman again. Do you know, like, because even as someone that I'm not a Spider-Man guy, so Tobey Maguire isn't special for me, and Andrew Garfield isn't special for me. But it's the fact that I'm seeing Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield and Tom Holland together in the same frame.
Yeah.
Swinging around and fucking quipping off each other. I'm like, that's fucking cool.
Yeah.
It would have been a bit more of like a moment for me if Ben Affleck Bruce Wayne and Michael Keaton Bruce Wayne were fucking talking to each other. Maybe Keaton had a quip with Jeremy Irons Alfred.
Yeah. So I even think like script wise, like in Spider-Man, like they gave the other Peters emotional beats and like wrapped up things from their series and whatever. But Michael Keaton, it's like...
It's just Keaton.
We don't hear anything about what happened to Alfred.
That would have been a genuinely nice thing.
What happened with him and Vicky Vale, what happened to Catwoman. Dude, like, there's nothing. You get nothing. It is literally like, when they see him, when they find Bruce Wayne in this movie, he's sat in a cupboard. And in my head canon for this, he's been sat in that cupboard since the end of Batman Returns because he hasn't done anything since. It doesn't seem like.
Which this has annoyed me as a Batman canon nerd. Yeah, and I've said this to Lewis because Lewis goes, "Oh, again, it's fun that George Clooney came in. For me, it's just a fun little thing." But then but then I went to Lewis. Right, this fucks with the canon so much. And he goes, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Because Lewis, canonically, the Batman that fought Arnold Schwarzenegger's Mr. Freeze
is the same one.
Has a memory of Kim Basinger's Vicky Vale.
Yeah."
They're the same Batman that just got recast.
They have the same Alfred. Like
they do. That's what I mean.
They're the same guy.
So are you telling me that what now? So do we now have to then go, oh no, they're different Batmans in different universes. They just so happen to have the same Alfred. What do we lose? But then Lewis goes, no, but we're just going to, it's a bit fun though, because Clooney was the shit Batman and Keaton was a good Batman. It's like, no, but they're the same Batman. They're the same. Yeah. That's the same universe. You may not like that it is, but it is. But that might just be me. Yeah. But that might just be me being weird about it. No one's going to think about that. No one else is.
I didn't really think about that.
But like, again, I had a fun time with it in that regard. Like, Clooney Batman, cool, fun. But then I'm also like, wait, so is this the Schumacher Batman now? If we go to Gotham, is it all Art Deco? What are we? It doesn't matter. It's never going to get expanded on.
What I want to wrap up on, is the cameos is the last thing that I want to talk about.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
I have so many issues with this. Okay. I'll go through them in terms of like what I care about and what I don't. So Adam West, fine, absolutely fine. Don't care.
The CGI cameo.
Yeah, don't care that Adam West showed up. That's fine.
Well,
whatever.
He did and he didn't.
Yeah, well, exactly. It was just like a thing, and it goes past him, and I think he's doing a little dance, or maybe he's doing a run or something. But that's fine. Okay. George Reeves.
Oh yeah.
Get rid of that. I know technically it's not bad. But the fact that I have to preface by saying technically, if anyone doesn't know, George Reeves died under very mysterious circumstances.
He was the 50s movie serials.
50s movie serial Superman.
Yeah.
And he, one of the popular, theories about what happened is that he killed himself. I think that's confirmed. I think he did kill himself, and that is 100% that happened. He took his own life. But it's rumored that was because he couldn't find any work after Superman. He also died with no family, and all that kind of stuff. So there's nobody to sign off on this.
Right. Okay.
That's why I don't like it. I know it was never proven.
It's an odd moral thing.
It's really weird. It's like it was never proven that he took his own life because of Superman. But the fact that it's even in conversation is maybe just don't do that one. Okay.
You could have I mean, they did have Christopher Reeves, but then they also had the shit Supergirl as well.
I'll get to this. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah.
You see, this is what I mean when you start saying about cameos. I was confused. I'm like, oh, you mean the CGI recreations of these people?
Yes. Yeah. Adam West is fine. George Reeves, get rid of that. It's too dicey. Don't do that. Jay Garrick Flash.
I don't know anything about this, is all I'm saying.
This fucks me off so badly, right? It's a CGI man. And they've said, there's been two versions of what it was said. At first, everyone thought it was Teddy Sears, which doesn't make any sense, because I'm going to give you some context on this, Oscar.
Yeah, please do.
Teddy Sears played, in season 2 of the Flash TV show, Jay Garrick came into the show. Played by Teddy Sears. It was later revealed in the season that character played by Teddy Sears was not in fact Jay Garrick, but was pretending to be Jay Garrick, and instead was the villain of the season, who was revealed to be Zoom.
Right.
And then the real Jay Garrick joined the show, who was played by John Wesley Shipp, who played the Flash in the 1990s TV show. Okay. Which was a nice little they brought him in and he's playing the older version of the Flash. For those that don't know, Jay Garrick's the version in the comics before Barry Allen.
Okay, right.
So Barry Allen's not the original Flash in the comics.
Yeah,
it's like Hank
Parker and Miles. I was going to say like Hank Pym and
Hank Pym, Scott Lang. Yeah, Jay Garrick's the original Flash. So in this, at first people thought it was Teddy Sears. I thought that's fucking dumb because he didn't even play Jay Garrick. The whole point was that he didn't. So it was almost a nod for the fans of the TV show, of which I am one for some of it.
It's you and Kevin Smith in it.
Yeah, it's just exactly. It's just me and Kevin Smith. It was almost a reference for us, except it wasn't because it just revealed that they hadn't seen the show.
They just out themselves as a fake fan.
Yeah, they just went, the Flash TV show, Jay Garrick. Oh, that guy. It was that guy. Anyway. The second thing is that they came out and said, the filmmakers came out and said, no, it's not Teddy Sears. It was made to be just a CGI person. So which I would say, make it someone. Like, say, for example, make it John Wesley Shipp, the first person to play the Flash in live action. That would be a nice nod.
Yeah.
And guess what, guys? He's still alive.
Oh, is he? Okay, right.
And also still plays Jay Garrick in the TV show. It just finished, but he played him from season 2 all the way till season 9.
Oh, cool.
He's been in that show and he's been dedicated to that character for so long. Throw him a fucking bone, right?
Mark Hamill might be a nice little cameo as well, because
would have been lovely because he was the trickster. Yeah,
that was it. Yeah,
he was basically the Joker, but you know.
Yeah. But
the third version is that somebody else on the production, I'm pretty sure this was Andy Muschietti, said that it was supposed to be a de-aged John Wesley Shipp.
Oh dear.
But it doesn't look anything like John Wesley Shipp, and also he still plays Jay Garrick. So you don't need to de-age him.
Yeah.
It's fucking stupid. Just why make a CGI person? Just film him. It's not hard. Just put him in front of a fucking camera. So that was my issue with that one. Is that it's ended up just being nobody when it could have been throwing a bone to the TV show fans.
Yeah.
My other thing is, would it have killed you to put Grant Gustin in there for a fucking second?
No, I also agree with that. Like,
he's played the character on TV for a decade. Would it kill you to put him in it? Jesus Christ.
It became more of a love letter towards Batman and Superman, quite frankly, is what the film
exactly.
was. And they went, oh yeah, the Flash. Throw him in.
Oh yeah, that fucking guy. The Christopher Reeves one, I don't mind as much.
It's just him can't fly. It's
just that it looks kind of gross. And
it took me a little while. It took me a little while to know who it was. I was like, "Is that Chris?"
Yeah, it's Christopher Reeves. Yeah. So by
the point I realized Christopher Reeves, the Supergirl, came flowing in. I was like, "Wait, what the fuck?"
Yeah, what the fuck? So the my thing for that is, if I'm going to change that one, hey, Brendan Routh's still around. It would it be, and that's the same version. Would it be so?
Oh, it is as well. That's right. Yeah.
Just put Brendan Routh in it. Why are we fucking recreating a gross version of Christopher Reeve's face? It's awful. The Helen Slater Supergirl thing, fine. I have no opinions on it. Either get rid of it or put the one in from the CW show. I don't know. Stop pretending the CW shows don't exist.
The joke being like, hey, remember, it's the equivalent of like when George Clooney rocked up.
Yeah,
it's like, hey, this was shit.
Wasn't this shit, but here we are. And the Nicolas Cage one.
It baffles me how long they spent on it. Quite frankly, it baffles me how long they did. There's also a point after Barry Allen went through this nice little emotional moment. We then cut to a close up of Nick Cage, Superman, and
just being like. What I don't get about this one is again, Nick Cage is alive.
He's right. Yeah,
just put him in a Superman suit. What are we doing?
He'd do it.
And he'd absolutely do it. His son is called Kal-El. He's a big Superman fan. He'd fucking jump at the opportunity to do this. But then Andy Muschietti's like, well, we filmed with Nick and what? No, you didn't.
No, you didn't.
No, you didn't. Because if you filmed with Nick, he'd be in the fucking movie.
Because you wouldn't have looked at both of those things and went, let's go with this.
Yeah, that's not him. It looks like shit. Everyone knows what Nick Cage looks like, so it's more obvious that it looks like shit. Just put him in the movie, and also maybe but this is for a cameos wide issue for me in this whole sequence. Maybe make any of them say anything. Why are they all just fucking stood there blankly looking? Their universes are being destroyed. In the context of the scene, their universes are smashing into each other and everyone's gonna die. Maybe they could, emote a little bit. Maybe say something. Literally anything, as opposed to it just being, look, it's that guy.
That is what it became. That is exactly just what it was, wasn't it? It's like, oh, yeah.
God. It's the worst part of an absolutely okay movie, which I had fun time with. So anyway, that's enough on The Flash. I apologise.
Yeah. No, that's fine.
You can talk about the third thing that you wanted to talk about.
It might not be a massive thing though, but I saw Asteroid City.
I haven't seen this yet. Am I gonna hate it?
I think there's a strong possibility you won't like it, so I'm setting it that.
No,
I'm setting it like that.
Fuck! I just want to see a good one.
I will say that it's nice little quirky Wes Anderson. I like some of the characters. Like, there's enough characters in this where like there's like a nice chat. Like Jason Schwartzman's the lead basically, so he's actually got. So it's the first time he's been in a lead Wes Anderson since Bottle Rocket, really.
Okay.
Yeah, which is so that's and he's good in it. Scarlett Johansson's really good in it. The bits I really enjoyed about it are I like how it is just kind of a bit of a passive hour 45. Like it doesn't really feel there's no big stakes in this film. There's a really good effect, which I'm not going to spoil, but it's really charming and really cool and really it's just class. It's really good.
Okay.
It's really good. The cameos in this are really sound. And by cameos, I mean considering it's such a massive cast, because Wes Anderson can just get any fucker he wants to be in a film.
Yeah, you can just get anybody.
There's some big names that just so happen to end up being cameos, and they're cool, and it's nice, and it's fun like that. The structure of the film's odd. I adjusted it fine, but when I left the film, I went to my mum, was like, "Oh, what did you think of that?" And my mum went, "I didn't understand anything that was happening." And I went, "Did you not get the point of the film?" And she went, "It's not at the point. It's like I just didn't get anything." It's because it's all very deadpan Wes Anderson explained, but no, it's not really a spoiler. But the film the Asteroid City sections are not the reality of the film. Because the film opens in a 4:3 black and white documentary on the making of a play, and the play is Asteroid City. So it's a weird. Part of me is like, I would have liked just the film to be Asteroid City, as opposed to a bit of a thing where it's like, but now we're also paying a bit of homage to 50s Hollywood. So there's things like that. So that's
weird. Okay.
This is why I'm like, oh, and then we end up cutting back every now and then. I'm like, oh, okay. I mean, you could have just done it like that.
Is this where you're thinking like this is gonna lose me? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Because it kind of has with just you explaining it.
Yeah, no, and then my feelings towards what you're gonna think is like, I feel like I could be totally wrong. You could end up enjoying it fine.
Yeah.
But I have a feeling. But I have a feeling like the film's going to end, and then you're going to message me, and you're going to go, "What was the fucking point in any of this?" Like that's my which I could also kind of get, because it's not slice of life, but I have heard someone call this a Wes Anderson's hangout film, which I'm also not sure if I would agree with that term.
Okay.
But there are just moments where it's just like Jason Schwartzman's son, like the teenager. And Scarlett Johansson's daughter, who's the same age, are just kind of just talking, but they're talking just Wes Anderson-y things. It's Wes Anderson-y, and it's fine enough for me. Like, I enjoyed it enough as like a nice Wes Anderson film, but it's not good. And I really like Scarlett Johansson in it. Yeah. And I really like Jason Schwartzman in it. And Tom Hanks is also really good in it, even if he's not as utilized as I would have liked him to be. And so there's things like that where it's the conversations between Jason Schwartzman and Scarlett Johansson that make the film for me. And that's where there's some emotional thing. Because there's a little bit about grief in the film as well.
Yeah, because his wife's dead or something.
Yeah. When he tells his kids about it, because it's like, he tells them, because I don't know what's been shown in the trailers, because I didn't watch them really, but there's the bit of where he finally tells, because Tom Hanks plays his wife's dad, so his father-in-law, and there's the bit where he finally tells his kids, and then he goes, so 3 weeks ago, well, we lost your mother then, and then and it's very Wes Anderson, and it's a bit quirky funny in that moment, darkly funny, but then the conversation continues, and it's a bit oh, this is getting a bit sad now. And it's done really well. So, but it's not I think the peak of or one of the peaks of Wes Anderson doing something really funny and then being really dark is in Grand Budapest of when they escape the prison and then like and Rafe and Monsieur Gustave is going to Zero and he goes like what's the point of you? And it's like and then it just immediately switched being like my parents would this instant tragic story and then he goes like I do deeply apologize and I'm really sorry about that. No, let's go. It's like so like it's there's nothing like that with this, but it's okay. I don't know because Grand Budapest Hotel was the last Wes Anderson film that I loved. Yeah, like and I liked French Dispatch, but that didn't I wasn't like I haven't went back to it. Is what I will say. And I don't remember loads about it. And similar thing with Isle of Dogs. I remember liking it fine first time watching it. Haven't went back to it because I haven't felt the need to. I like Asteroid City more than Isle of Dogs and French Dispatch. Okay. I think. French Dispatch is a more of a grander made film, and I think I like the filmmaking of it more. But there's moments in Asteroid City that I'm thinking about now, and I'm like, oh, that was funny. Or like, oh, that was like nice little quaint. And I would go back to Asteroid City, even if I'm not huge on it. So but I would like for it. It's not even like do another Grand Budapest. It's like I don't know. We'll just keep going, Wes. Just keep doing what you're doing. He hasn't got to for me personally. He hasn't got to the point of a Chris Nolan where he's so far up his own arse. I feel like he was again, and I liked French Dispatch, but I could understand your point being like. It just felt like he was doing a film being like, look how fucking cool and indie I am and look at my style. Just look at my pastels. Look at my pastel colours and then I go black and white because fuck you. You know what I mean? It's like but like there's nothing like that with Asteroid City with it, I don't think. But I will be intrigued about how you make of it because plot and story-wise, it's not as... It's when we jump back. I'll be interested to see what you make of it. But Asteroids. That's
interesting. I'm probably going to see it this weekend.
Yeah. Indie comes out this week.
So, I'm not seeing Asteroid City this weekend.
I was going to say.
Sorry, friend.
I was like Indiana Jones.
But my most anticipated movie of the year and possibly the decade comes out. Have I heard it's very good? No. But am I excited? Am I excited anyway? Yeah.
I missed my most anticipated film of the year.
What?
I missed Beau's Afraid. I didn't catch it at the cinema.
Ah, you fucking scumbag. I've seen something from that movie, and I never want to see it again. Thank you.
That makes me more excited to see it. You see? But the thing is with me, with an Ari Aster film, in comparison to that, I'm hearing split things about this Ari Aster film.
Yeah.
It would be a lot different from you hearing split things about the Indiana Jones film. Yeah. Because when I'm hearing some people go, oh yeah, Beau's Afraid is good. And then hearing some people go like, that was really shit. I'm like, this wasn't too dissimilar to Midsummer, I will say. So this doesn't mean anything to me.
Yeah. Whereas me hearing an Indiana Jones film is bad. I just get flashbacks to Crystal Skull and I get nervous. I get real scared.
The film's also 2.5 hours long, so I'm scared about that.
Oh god. Well, the thing that I'd seen about it is just it was one of those things that someone offhandedly mentioned in a tweet as being in the movie, and there was no like image attached. It was just words. And I went, what the fuck? And then I googled that thing. I said Beau's Afraid, and then the thing that was in the tweet.
I thought you meant indie. I thought you meant Indiana Jones.
No.
Right, yeah.
And then I saw the image. And I wish I'd never searched anything really. So you'll know what I mean.
Yeah. No, I'm going to catch it before the end of the year. I just didn't. I just didn't get a chance to see it in the cinema because the distribution for this film was dog shit.
Yeah, it was really bad.
And then people were surprised that it lost money.
Yeah.
So I'm like, right. For one, I think it's A24's most expensive film. I think I read that. I think it's more expensive than Everything Everywhere. Genuinely. Yeah. And then for some reason, A24 just decided to really market it shitty.
Yeah.
Why?
Why did you do that?
Why spend all that money on the fucking film to not promote it well? Yeah. You're biting it's like the snake, like the snake biting its own tail. It's like that with it. Like, why did you do that?
It's bizarre.
But I will say a film that I am looking forward to Other films I'm looking forward to. Obviously, the Barbie Oppenheimer double bill. Can't wait for that.
I'm excited for. Yeah,
I'm looking forward to Barbie.
Yeah, I'm about half excited for Barbie. I like everything about it on paper, but the trailers have really diminished my excitement for it.
I'm just simply preparing myself. This is what I said to you when we were looking at when we were at our top. When we were talking about top 10 films of last year, and we were looking at and we were looking at the slate for this year in terms of films, and I went to you, I was like, what if everyone's really excited for a film that was never going to be the film that everyone was excited for?
That's exactly what I think Barbie's going to be.
Which is what I think, because I'm hearing people go like, what if like Ryan Gosling gets nominated for supporting actor for this film? Like, I think we're overthinking the Barbie film. I think we're all overthinking the Barbie film. Yes, we know. Yes, I know Greta Gerwig, Noah Baumbach are involved with this. I know. But I also think that Greta Gerwig is very self-aware of films that she makes. She knows the films she makes. Little Women is not the same type of film as Lady Bird. And Little Women's really good. Lady Bird I like a lot as well, but also two different types of films. And I also think she's also very well aware that the Barbie film doesn't need to be A24's Barbie. Because it's not going to be, that's what I mean. It's not going to be that. So I'm just curious about it. I'm not expecting my life to be changed from Barbie.
Well, exactly, yeah.
Victoria's really excited about it. Victoria's really giddy because she was a Barbie kid, and she got really excited when she found out the sets are all real. And she's like, they actually made the house. I'm like, oh, good. I'm really excited that right. You're the audience that they're clearly grabbing then.
Yeah.
All the memes of the film Broy.
Yeah.
Patrick Bateman, Pato Batto, Ryan Gosling in Drive. All the funny little memes of like, 2 tickets to Barbie, please. That's not the audience.
No.
Like, I'm not the audience for Barbie. I'm going because I like Greta Gerwig and I'll see anything she does. That's that.
Julia's very excited about it and has been avoiding everything, so she has no idea. She hasn't seen any trailers or anything. So
and I'm also looking for Mission Impossible. Really excited.
Yeah,
for that.
Apparently it's good.
Yeah, excellent. Nice one.
Early reactions came out today, and everyone's saying like, yeah, sorry.
Nice. I said to Lewis because the trailer came on before The Flash, and obviously it's Dead Reckoning Part 1, and I went, oh, people won't get in a pissy fit when this inevitably ends on a cliffhanger, and then Lewis then went, do you think it's going to end on a literal cliffhanger? I went, they better fucking end with Tom Cruise literally hanging off a cliff.
There was the thing in you've seen the trailer for that then?
Not really.
Okay.
I know
I thought it was a really shit trailer. I think the trailers for that movie have been really shit.
I don't. I mean, apart from Fallout, where that was like an incredible trailer. The other trailer,
was great.
Mission Impossible has never had like the best trailer, and they've just been like, it's it's another one of these.
It's another one of these. Yeah,
and you already like them, so go. I know Tom Cruise. I know he rides off a mountain on a motorbike.
Yeah, so that's what I was going to ask. Do you reckon that's the cliffhanger? He just rides a motorbike off a cliff.
That's what Gary bets, but I also don't.
Goes to black.
Just bam, bam. But I don't think so. I don't think.
Possibly.
What's the other big stunt that was announced that he's doing for this?
He was on top of a train, wasn't he?
That was it.
It looks like they're just doing the train scene from the first movie, but it's real this time.
Tom Cruise is like, maybe I want to do that again, but now can we?
Yeah, can we actually do it this time with no terrible effects and stuff?
Yes, 60-year-old Tom Cruise, whatever you say.
Absolutely, you can. Just take the gun away from my head, please.
Mad lad. All I'm saying is this gives me similar vibes to what happened last weekend at a wrestling show, as in the show as in the pay-per-view I watched, not the one that I attended as a camera operator.
Yes.
But it's like Tom Cruise broke his leg at the last Mission Impossible. And then,
why did he?
And then people still like, let's just keep it going. Whatever you say, mate. Bryan Danielson had a big old dream match against Kazuchika Okada at this New Japan and AEW pay-per-view thing. And it was an amazing, it started as like this banging match or whatever. And it was a really great match. And then the match kind of ended with Bryan Danielson making Okada tap out, which is mad. But like, if you know any of the two, it's basically like Bryan Danielson, like best in the world according to AEW, Kazuchika Okada, best in the world according to New Japan. That's like kind of like the story going. It's a simple thing where it's like people say you're mint and people say I'm mint. Let's see who's the mintest. That's literally what it was.
Let's fight about it.
Yeah, that's literally what it was.
Yeah.
But like the match kind of like ended a bit slowly. But then I found out that like 10 minutes, no, not even, right. So Kazuchika Okada gave an elbow drop to Bryan Danielson. Apparently in that moment, what was told was like, Bryan Danielson was like, yeah, I fractured my right arm in that moment.
Oh, shit.
There was 10 minutes left of the match. And he told the doctor immediately when it happened. First of all, he faked a seizure spot to get the doctor in the ring.
Oh, my God.
And this is a man who's had concussion and neck issues and actual seizure issues. So it kind of was like, oh, shit. So to get the doctor in the ring. And he just was like, yeah, by the way, I think I fractured my arm. And then he was like, and then the match just kept going. And this man did things like he did a drop kick. He did a thing. God. He did a thing where he got Okada in a lock like that. So he would have been using his fractured arm for this. And then he won the match, and then it was mental, and then he was like, "Yeah, it might be out like 6 to 8 weeks," and then his wife like posted a thing on her Instagram story, being like, "I don't know whether to be really proud of him or really fucking annoyed that he wrestled like this for 10 minutes, and it's just the X-ray, and it's not a fracture. Like this bone is just snapped.
Oh my God!
So it wasn't a full break. It was like this bone was, but he had a broken arm." Through the last 10 minutes of the match, and no one, and it wasn't noticeable. Everyone just kind of went, "Oh, he sold the arm really well." Oh, the match ended a bit slowly. It was a bit of a slow ending. Yeah, because he wrestled with a broken arm, and it's just, but that just reminds me of just like people would have just been like, "Yes, whatever you say, Bryan Danielson. Whatever you say, yeah, fuck it, yeah,
whatever you say."
Like other wrestlers would have been like, "Let's wrap the match up now," but he was like, "No, I'm gonna continue doing this for 10 more minutes."
Jesus Christ!
And that just reminds me of like Tom Cruise being like, "You don't need to do this, Tom," but I'm going to. But I'm going to. That man's going to. I feel like that man wants to die in the end of Mission Impossible, and I mean in real life, and I mean in real. I don't mean like.
Yeah, he'll die on camera somewhere, and the footage will be released for $1 million or something.
But another film I'm looking forward to is a film called Past Lives, which I've heard nothing but great things about.
Okay,
do you know about it?
No idea.
It's like an A24 film that won big at Sundance, but it's one of these A24 films that are like an intimate drama, as far as I'm aware. I don't know the plots of it, but apparently it's a really really cool personal film. Like it's one of those type of thing, and people are like, it might be heartwarming for you. I don't know. The plot of it.
I might have a religious experience. Who knows? Who's to say? You know.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I think that comes out August, so that might be a nice little change from all these big boomy films.
Yeah.
And I don't mean boomer. I mean boomy.
Well, speaking of big boomy.
Oppenheimer.
But not really. I'm gonna wrap up my last 2 points.
Go. Oh yeah.
Intermission points. But also, I'm gonna put in a formal request. Apologies to my favourite segment of the show, but could we skip Letterboxd reviews again this week?
I literally am looking at them now, and yeah, we can.
Sweet. Okay, cool.
I'm going to kill the segment off. I'm going to kill it at the end of the season.
Don't kill it.
Hey, once we get to the end of season 5, I'm going to murder it.
Oh my God.
The trial of the Letterboxd review segment is going to be the end of the season.
Oh my God.
And we're going to see.
Yeah, should we keep it?
Yeah.
Right, okay, so I've been watching, and I'll keep this very brief because I'm not very interested in it. I just want people to know.
I'm keeping you in control of this. Off you go.
That I've been watching this. I watched the first episode. The second episode came out today. I have yet to watch it. I watched the pilot of Secret Invasion for Marvel Studios. And, okay. Sam Jackson's good. Everyone knows he's good. He's always fucking good. All right?
Is he always good?
He's mostly always good. He's sometimes quite good. Ben Mendelsohn's really good. He is always really good from what I've seen him in. Olivia Colman's really good in it. I think she's great. Emilia Clarke. is good in Game of Thrones and nothing else, but she seems to be all right in this.
She's fine in Solo.
Yeah, she's fine in Solo. She's fine in Terminator, whichever one she was in.
No, she was not. I'm saying that now.
Yeah,
No, she was not. She was in Genesis, and no one in that film was good.
That's fair. So the whole thing with Secret Invasion in the comic books. Here's the thing. I'm gonna get nerdy for a minute. In the comic books,
really?
I know. Could you imagine? It was a whole thing that had been planned for ages, and just on an Avengers mission, one of them, Elektra, died. And when she died, it was like, oh my god, she's dead. Elektra's dead. They've killed Elektra off. This is crazy. But then she turned into a fucking green person, and everyone was like, what? And it turns out she'd been a Skrull. These shape-shifting aliens for years.
Okay.
And the story built from there, where it was revealed that so many different characters had actually been replaced with Skrulls and we didn't know. And then it became like who can you trust? What's happening? They're planning a secret invasion of the world. They've been slowly integrating themselves in to governments and all this kind of stuff. It's awesome. It's so cool in the comics. There's a whole thing where one of the Skrulls comes to Iron Man and convinces him that he's a Skrull, but he doesn't remember. And he fucking freaks out, and he has like a full mental breakdown, and it's so cool. Because like the whole thing of you're so deep rooted in your cover that you don't even remember that you're undercover. And he's like, what? It's really cool, and it's a very very tense story because you don't know who to trust. So when they announced they were doing it as a show, I was like, cool. Okay, sure.
Even after all these other Marvel shows.
Yeah, I was like, okay. How are you going to do this in 6 episodes? I'm not sure. How are you going to pay the Avengers to be in a TV show? I'm not sure.
Yeah, that'll be an interesting conversation with Robert Downey Jr., won't it?
Yeah. The truth is, they're not going to. It's they've instead adapted it as a sort of spy thriller.
Oh, which I love those.
I can get that. I'm like, yeah, it's like espionage. Who can you trust? Who's a Skrull? What's going on?
Okay, yeah.
I can see it.
You can get the tension. You can get the.
I can get it. And if it's like, because they're doing it from Nick Fury, Sam Jackson is the lead. He's the main character of this show.
Oh, nice. Okay.
It's his show, so you get to learn a bit more about him, and that's fun. And I can understand the whole thing of like he's supposed to be a character that knows and is across everything, and is involved in governments and stuff. And then he starts to learn about this, and it's like, whoa, even he doesn't know. And if it's all espionage and dealing with governments and whatever, I can see what they're going for.
Yeah.
But fuck me, man, this is so boring.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's what I realized is what I think is missing from the show is, especially the first episode. Again, I haven't seen episode 2 yet. Apparently, it gets a lot better, but I don't know. I haven't seen it yet. What made the comic cool was that it was out of nowhere, and we were learning about the Skrull invasion as the characters were learning about it. When the show starts, Nick Fury's aware that an invasion is happening. And everybody is aware that an alien invasion is already happening. And it starts with just a big exposition jump saying, this is happening and has been happening for a while and we're combating it.
Oh, okay.
That's not as interesting. Like at all.
Yeah.
I was kind of into it at the beginning because the opening scene has Martin Freeman talking to a guy and the guy's like, fucking Skrulls and they're everywhere and who knows who's a Skrull? And Martin Freeman's like, yeah, whatever. And he's like, I've got this evidence. Please give it to Nick Fury. And he's like, fine, I'll take the evidence, whatever. And then they have a big fight and they're running after each other. And Martin Freeman tries to jump across 2 buildings and he misses and he hits the ground so fucking hard. And then he dies and it turns out he was a Skrull the whole time.
Okay.
And I was like, that's sick. I'm in. I'm so in. And then Kobe Smulders' Maria Hill finds him. And then the whole exposition jump of, oh, Martin Freeman was a Skrull the whole time. Like all these other people that we know. And I'm like, But it's already happening.
Yeah.
That sucks. That's really, you've taken all the tension out of it. And also, spoilers, I guess, Maria Hill dies at the end of the first episode. And I couldn't give less of a shit. And I know, like, so many people are like, oh my god, they kill Maria Hill. She's been around since the first Avengers movie. She's been in these movies for 10 years.
Oh shit!
And
Is that Kobe Smulders?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's like, yeah, she has been in the movies for that long, which has probably had about 6 lines.
Yeah, I was going to say, but did anyone remember?
Care. I don't care that she's dead. And that's the kind of thing that I'm realizing is that it's focusing on these characters like Kobe Smulders and Sam Jackson and Nick Fury. Not Nick Fury, that is Sam Jackson. And Martin Freeman and Don Cheadle's in it. And all these people that have been side characters for years. And I'm realizing that the only investment that they think I have in them is because they've been around for 12 years. Yeah. But I start to realize that I don't care about any of these people and never have.
Yeah.
But I just didn't realize until you make them the main characters of a show and I
that
go,
they have nothing else.
I don't fucking care. Like at all. Where's Iron Man? What's happening? And they keep mentioning Brie Larson, but she's not going to show up. So, so yeah, that was that. I think it's fine. Whatever. I don't know. Maybe it'll get better. Who knows? It's nice to see Olivia Colman in things. And the last thing I'm going to mention is we have a new Superman, and that's cool.
Yeah, and I like who's in it. And I like who it is.
Great casting. I think it's cool.
I need to rewatch Pearl, because fuck me, I fuck with that film so hard.
Yeah, and he's in that. And
he's really good in it.
He's real good in it, apparently. I've only seen him in that Hollywood show that he was in. Do you remember that with Jim Parsons? On Netflix? Yeah. He was real good in that, and he was very charming. And I was like, I can see the vision here. And he also is a big Superman fan. Cool. He's talked about in the past how he appreciates the dark and gritty take of the Zack Snyder films, but would like them to return to a more classic feeling, hopeful, optimistic version. And I'm like, okay, this guy fucking gets it. That's cool. Rachel Brosnahan as Lois Lane. Sure, good. I've only seen her in House of Cards.
Yeah, Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, was that her?
Yeah, I haven't seen that. I should get on that. But she's good in House of Cards. I like her, so that's cool. I'll be interested to see who they pick as Lex Luthor, because the names at the moment are Alexander and Bill Skarsgård. 2
very different types of actors is all I'm saying.
Yeah, from that, I'd go Alexander.
Yeah.
Because that guy, like, looking at David Corenswet, who is now Superman, against that guy, I can imagine that guy would be physically intimidating to Superman.
Yeah.
You'd like put.
Well, have you seen The Northman?
Exactly.
Jesus.
You put those guys next to each other, and the whole thing with Lex Luthor is that he's so jealous of Superman that he has to be perfect.
Yeah.
And everything. So that's great. I think that's a good choice. But what I will say is, apparently, the first person to be approached for the role of Lex Luthor was Nicholas Hoult. And he said, I want to audition for Superman. And they were like, okay. Now, he didn't get the role. No. He came down to the screen testing phase. He was the top 3. He was a top 3 contender. Right. Just like he was for Batman. He's lost out again. God bless him.
Please, someone give him something. Please give Nicholas Hoult, because he's good. Give him a big property that he would fit in.
Yeah. What I will say is, a guy being approached for the role of Lex Luthor and thinking he could be a better Superman than Superman is possibly the most Lex Luthor thing anyone's ever done. So, maybe he's great. Maybe he's a great pick for that, because he's like, I can be fucking Superman. And it's like, all right, mate. So, of the 3, my pick would be Nicholas Hoult, just because it's interesting. But I can understand if they go with Alexander Skarsgård.
I don't think Bill should, but
Bill's
he's really good as the villain in John Wick 4. I will say that. Really good.
He's good, but he's not Lex Luthor to me.
No,
he's got a big fucking head. You seen how big his head is? Imagine that bald.
I think you're thinking of just when he was Pennywise. You do know it was prosthetics, right?
What? What are you saying to me right now? Excuse me? That wasn't his real head?
No, not quite. Not quite.
Fuck, holy shit.
Yeah.
My whole life's been a lie. And he didn't do that little dance? Or did he do the dance?
No, he did the dance.
Oh, well, everything's fine then. That's fine.
He did the dance.
Don't worry about
I'd like to see him. I'd like to see him bald with his big melon head, doing that little dance in a business suit.
That's the boss baby.
Yeah. Oh fuck. Anyway, just do a good one, James Gunn, please.
Bill Skarsgård.
I'd like to see a
the
good
Boss
Superman.
Baby 3.
The Boss Babe 3.
What we all wanted. Finish the trilogy.
Oh, yeah.
Finish
the trilogy. Get rid of the murderer. Replace him with
Bill Skarsgård.
live action.
Yeah. No. Everything's animated, but the Boss Baby, who's just.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, I like that.
Hey,
absolutely.
Who is it? Is it Blue Sky or DreamWorks? Who is it?
It's Blue Sky, isn't it?
Oh, Illumination. Whoever the fuck.
Oh, whoever the fuck makes those movies. I don't
Hey,
know.
whichever. Get us on that.
Get us on that. We know exactly what to do with
We
that.
know what to do with the Boss Baby.
Don't worry about it. But yeah, I think this casting's good. The story sounds very good of everything that would like the little tidbits that we've heard about it. Just maybe, hey, here's a crazy suggestion, James Gunn, and I think he will do this.
Mm-hmm.
Just maybe write the characters as they are in the comic books. It's a crazy suggestion, but maybe just write Superman as the most hopeful, nice man in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Write Lois Lane as Amy Adams was pretty good actually, but that one's fine. And then make Lex Luthor actually Lex Luthor and not Mark Zuckerberg or whatever. Don't make him a little fucking twerp, all right? Like I shouldn't look at Lex Luthor and be like, I could fucking beat that dude up. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I know. That's what I mean. Yeah.
I shouldn't look at Lex Luthor and be like, that guy needs to be fucking sectioned.
I thought that guy needs to be sexualized. I thought that's what you were going to.
Yeah, that guy needs to fuck.
So you did that with Jesse Eisenberg? What?
No, not today.
No, not today. Not today.
But yeah, that's my thoughts on that. I think it's good casting, and I'm still very excited about that. And I think DC could take over Marvel. Do
yeah,
it.
cool. Fuck it. Yeah.
Maybe DC can be the one that everybody likes for a bit.
Yeah,
All right?
Well, I like the Batman, and
Yeah, I also liked the Batman.
and I'm interested in the DCU, and
I'm very interested.
And I also just remember that, and I'm still fascinated with Joker too. So fascinated with it.
Get in the bin, mate. If there's one thing I could never see, it's that.
Nah, a musical. Musical. I'm
Why?
fascinated. I'm fascinated by it.
What? Okay.
Fascinated. I'm not excited. Not excited.
Yeah, just like what?
It's everything that is happening with that film. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Okay, but one last, the tiny little thing I want to say before we wrap up is
go on.
I've started watching Vinland Saga because I felt like I didn't want to get.
Started watching who now? You started watching who now?
Vinland Saga.
What the fuck is that guy?
It's an anime that is about Vikings.
Sick.
But I've watched the first episode and it's pretty fucking cool. But I'm going to send you the intro, Robbie, and I just want you to rate it on a scale of 1 to 10 in terms of how hard does this intro fuck.
Okay. Okay.
And Reese can
Okay,
watch it as well if he wants.
Yeah, Reese can watch it, sure. I mean, so far the snow on the ships is pretty good. Oh, shit. Oh, fucking hell. I'm ready for it to, like, fucking pop off. Oh, mate, this fucks. Should I maybe watch this? I don't know, maybe I should watch this. Fuck. I was meant to be going to sleep after this. I don't know if I can... I don't know if I can do that. I've got so much testosterone thrown through my balls. Oh shit, we're in a storm. What? What the fuck is happening? I just saw a man like eat a shrimp or something and then start beating people up. Oh my god. Yeah, that fucks hard.
That every episode opens with that, as far as I'm aware.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, no,
I think I'd probably have a stroke.
It's one of these ones where like I heard the manga's amazing, and then it's the second season just came out as well.
Oh, okay.
But I've been hearing the anime's also amazing. So I'm like,
Yeah.
so you know, it just sounds like it's gonna be one of those. Both seasons are on Netflix as well.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Okay.
I need to get back onto that. First episode liked a lot. Need to watch the rest.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Bloody hell. I mean, good on you. That sounds fucking
I wanted
awesome.
to get back into an anime, and I feel like that's a good one to get into.
Yeah.
It's
a good
new
idea.
enough. There's not millions of episodes yet. So
Yes.
there's only 48 between two seasons, as in like it's
Right,
24
okay.
a season, and they're
Well,
all
that's
like
not too bad.
and they're all like 25 minutes an episode as well. So it's
Yeah, okay.
that's okay. But yeah, so you're watching
stuff.
Secret Invasion. I'm watching Vinland Saga.
Jesus.
Although for the
I'm
sounds of things,
watching-
Robbie might just change to Vinland Saga.
I might do. I might bin off Secret Invasion. Maybe this is where they lose me. I doubt it. I highly doubt it.
Well, Secret Invasion is the point. Where
Yeah,
you're like,
where that's the one where I give up. I highly doubt it.
no,
I think,
yeah, you've been through
Do you know
too
what-
much. You've been through too much for where that's going to be the one that you
Well,
give up.
exactly. Do you know what I think is? I thought this was crazy when I saw it in a tweet, and this can be my last thought, and we can wrap up because I do need to go to sleep.
Yes, you do.
But the Superman Legacy
Yeah.
was announced to be a thing that exists last year.
That's right. Yeah.
It's coming out in 2025,
yeah.
and they've already announced the cast of the leads.
Nice.
Right? Fantastic Four was announced
No,
in
yeah, I know where you're
in
going.
2019. It comes out the same year as Superman Legacy, and we still have no idea who's playing anybody.
We don't have any director. We got no one, do we?
Oh no, we have a director.
Who is it?
It's the guy that did WandaVision.
Oh yeah.
Fucking kill me, please. Somebody take a fucking knife to my eye. But the script had a rewrite by the guy that wrote Avatar 2, so that's fine, isn't it?
No. No, it isn't.
Fucking Jesus.
You're not
fucking
selling
Christ.
me with that, are you?
No, Antonio Banderas is playing Galactus. Apparently,
Oh yes, yeah, okay.
you're back on board. Here we go.
I mean,
There we go.
I mean,
Come on.
is he the dad from Spy Kids?
I don't think he'll be that in the movie.
Then maybe
I don't
not
think
quite.
I don't think they'll say the dad from Spy Kids went into space and became a big purple man that eats planets.
Yo,
I
if
don't
they
think
do
that-
Spy Kids 5 and Robert Rodriguez makes that a thing where like he's the villain
Yo.
because he just becomes a big purple alien.
That'd be fucking great.
That's a
I'd be
Spy
well-
Kids film
I'd
if
be
I ever
well into
known
that.
it.
I hope if they do, I mean, apparently they are doing Galactus. I hope that the Galactus that they do isn't just a big fucking cloud. I hope it is. I hope, voiced by Antonio Banderas. I hope they do proper Galactus, where he's just a giant
Yeah.
man. It's just a giant Antonio Banderas wearing a big silly helmet. That's what I want. Please, thank you.
Yeah, I mean,
Anyway.
that'll be fun. To round things up
Yeah, I
then.
guess.
We don't have the time.
I just thought that was fucking crazy in terms of a turnaround. I mean, they announced that movie 4 years ago, and we still don't have a single fucking cast member confirmed.
No, you are right there. And like already, they're like, we got a new universe. Here's the next thing coming
Yeah.
out. We got it going.
Yeah, the animated show that comes out first, Creature Commandos, that's had the full cast announced
Yeah, right. Okay.
with Frank Grillo and fucking Ron Perlman. Great.
You know, this is how I like when things are announced. This is the timing that I like it. I don't like the
Yeah.
announcement and then we just
Wait
wait.
3 years and we'll cast somebody.
It's like the film technically doesn't exist. It's still a logo. It's still a
Yeah.
graphic. There's nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Announce something, and then like a few months later, here's the cast, here's who's playing everybody. Great.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
That's fantastic.
Fucking hell. That's fantastic.
What did you say?
I said that's fantastic for the movie's cast. If they could announce that so we can stop with the fucking fan castings, that'd be great.
Fantastic cast.
Yeah, very good. 'Cause-
Fantasticins.
We've had those ones where people have been like, Adam Driver's locked in, and then it's like, actually, negotiations have kind of fallen through, so maybe it's not him. Fuck it, just confirm somebody. Anybody, please. Oh, fuck me. Give it some Marlon Wayans or some shit. I don't care. I just want a name attached. Fuck.
Fucking Marl.
that was a random one to pull out. Anyway, bedtime.
I really want Jared Leto as Johnny Storm while we're at it.
Yeah. Jared Leto is the Invisible Woman. Please. Give me that on a fucking cheese board.
So next week's film.
Yeah,
Robbie,
sorry, yeah.
Before we fully wrap up.
I'm very excited because I think I know what this is and I'm going to cry.
You what?
If it's the case. I think I know what this is.
What's an assumption? Like in terms of like the general.
Well, you said we're finishing on a trilogy.
Yeah, but we're not finishing the season yet.
What?
We got 2 more episodes and then it's the finale of the season.
What?
Yeah, we still got the next one and then the week after that and then it's the trilogy.
What?
Yeah.
I thought we were doing as in the last 3 episodes where the first movie of a trilogy, the second movie of a trilogy, and the third movie of a trilogy.
No, because there's 12 episodes a season.
Oh shit! Well, then I have no idea what's going on.
No, well, don't worry about it. This one's fine. This
Oh,
one,
okay.
this one would be the newest film we've ever talked about on Intermission.
Oh my god!
It came out in 2002.
Yeah.
We're talking Hero next week. The Jet Li.
Yeah, I've got that on
big.
DVD, I think, somewhere.
Yeah, I think Jet Li, Donnie Yen's in it. Tony
Yeah,
Leung,
okay.
Maggie Chung.
Yeah.
One of my favorites.
The Mandarin himself.
Yeah.
Wow.
He is.
Good
He is,
stuff.
yeah. One of my
Wowzers.
all-time favourites. Film I haven't seen in
Okay.
a long time, though. So, and that, Robbie, from my understanding, is a lovely 90 minutes.
Oh my god, a
From-
brisk 90 minutes
From my understanding. So, yeah.
of cool action.
Yeah.
Probably I haven't seen it, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna wait. It's the same filmmaker as House of Flying Daggers, so I think if you
Oh, I love House of Flying Daggers. Especially the rape bit.
I'm gonna clip that
Sorry.
out. And
Yeah,
then,
no, cut that, please.
no, I said clip, not cut. I'm gonna make.
No, yeah, oh no.
Gonna make a point to have that.
Shit.
I'm gonna mute me and just
Oh,
amplify
no.
you when you go.
Oh,
Be like, I love House of Flying Daggers, especially the.
oh god. I mean, it's not good, is it?
The film.
What, House of Flying Daggers?
Yeah,
It's alright.
it's a good film.
I watched it for film studies A level.
And now you're gonna watch
And I-
Hero
and I-
for Intermission. Film
I
studies,
remember-
social.
I remember pointing out that the rape was weird in House of Flying Daggers, and I remember my teacher being like, "It's a beautiful scene." I was like, "So it's rape." So
I
you know.
haven't seen that in a little while. I can't remember that.
Well, I guess technically by the end, with the 17 twists that happen in the last 5 minutes, that maybe it isn't rape. I don't know. 'Cause she's supposed to be blind the whole time.
Yeah, but she isn't though. So yeah.
But then it turns out she's not blind.
But was he aware
But
that she
when-
wasn't? So that's the whole thing.
No,
there.
he wasn't aware.
No,
he
no,
thought she was blind.
No, I know. That's what I mean. There's the whole thing. So
Yeah.
did she
And he
technically
starts
consent
kissing
to
her
it?
and stuff.
Because she was aware.
No,
of it,
she's like,
but then,
now stop. And
oh,
he's
does
like,
she do it?
"Nah,
Right. Again, I'm
He's like, nah, you love it.
ah.
And it's like, stop it though. Actually.
Well, as far as from my memory, Hero doesn't have a rape in it, so we.
Oh, well,
should
that's
be-
good.
So we should be fine.
I really hope there isn't one now.
What? Yeah, I hope I didn't just promise that, and then I'm watching
Yeah.
it and go, "Oh, there's 5 of them."
If I have to come back on this podcast next week and say you promised no rape, I'll be very upset with you.
Oh God! And on that note, Heroes next
Sorry,
week, and it's going to have a lot more action than Throne of Blood did. I can guarantee you
Exciting.
that much, and a lot more color. It's as if this was in color, and then Throne of Blood was in black and white. Yeah. Thank you all for
Nice.
watching.
Thank you, sir.
Been a good one. It's been an interesting episode 50. I think it's been a good
Oh,
one.
yeah.
I think it's been a good one, but it's been a different one. But for whatever.
Yeah.
It's been nearly 3 hours, Robbie. I don't know how we did this.
Dear shit God.
But yes, thank you all for watching and all listening. Links in the description for everything you need for Intermission, as well as mental health links. Again, take care of yourself
yeah, man.
mentally, and be there to support one that may be going through that if you're not.
Yeah.
So yeah, there you go. Always stuff there, and I'm not. Lewis isn't going to have another message again. So because
What a piece of shit.
this is more so my intent this time, but like we'll
okay.
maybe for the trilogy we'll return Lewis.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, but thank you all for watching, listening. To next week, signs off, Robbie.
Kisses.